What we can prove is that you were on Braddock Road the night she went missing.
Can I go home?
No, you cannot.
Why is that?
Because I'm charging you with murder.
I didn't do murder.
Well, I'm charging you with it, and we can prove it, Johnny.
No, you cannot, because I didn't do it.
Johnny Wayne Johnson is hit with a harsh dose of reality as the silence of a 4-year-old crime finally shatters. Sherry Lee Prather was last seen riding off with Johnny before her mysterious disappearance. Shockingly, a month later, her decomposed remains were discovered in the woods. Gradually, the investigation hit a dead end as Johnny slipped further out of reach. However, years later, a clinching piece of evidence eventually placed him right back at the center of this chilling mystery.
You told her about it, Johnny.
No.
How do you think we went to Braddock Road? You showed Samantha where the body was.
These are just glimpses of the drama lying ahead, and as the truth inches closer, this master manipulator will pull out every tactic to escape the bleak reality closing in on him. Sherry, a single mother, lived with her 2 daughters and mother in Jacksonville, Florida. But due to a prolonged history of relationships, she struggled with substance and alcohol addiction. However, over the past few years, Sherry had started focusing on rebuilding her life. Yet, she was unaware of the biggest tragedy about to unfold. On October 12, 2012, after a fun night out with her friends, Sherry left the Boots and Bottles Tavern bar around 2:20 a.m. to head home, but she never showed up. Sherry's sudden disappearance prompted her family to report her missing. Police questioned the bar owner and patrons, but couldn't get any leads. Tragically, a month later, on November 12th, the search took a harrowing turn when they received a major break in the case. A childhood friend of Sherry's daughter, Teresa Lennox, came forward with some crucial information. She informed detectives that her uncle told her that he had found a body dumped near Braddock Road, most likely that of Sherry. This information directed officers to the location, where they discovered a scene unlike anything. They found human remains scattered across the area, likely due to animal activity. An X-ray comparison finally confirmed the remains were Sherry's, and determined that her death was caused by a gunshot wound. Furthermore, after a diligent search, surveillance footage near the Boots and Bottles bar showed what investigators had been seeking all along. It captured Sherry's final moments, riding off with a man identified as Johnny Wayne Johnson, also known as the Viking. When detectives approached him, he denied any involvement. With no solid evidence linking Johnny to the crime, detectives were forced to let him go. The investigation eventually stretched for 4 long years. However, during this period, detectives uncovered a trail of evidence that led them back to Johnny, with shocking details that would unfold at each turn.
So after this incident, got a little heated, where people were investigating this homicide. You were the last one, obviously, to be seen with her.
And I was the last one to be questioned that I know of.
And so kind of the pressure's on you because you were the last one with her.
Yeah, I understand that.
And she was on your bike, which you admit, that's the picture of you.
Yeah.
Her on the bike with you. You leave the bar. You drop her off somewhere off Trout River. You go back home, which is over there in Picketttville.
No.
At the time, or what's that called?
Dinsmore.
Dinsmore.
Yeah.
And, and then that was it. You never seen her again.
No. It's like I told the cop, if I knew anything more, I wouldn't have,
Johnny, you told some people some different stories, though.
I never told nobody no different story. I told them all the same thing. I tell everybody the same thing. I dropped her off on Trout River, and that's it. That was the last time I saw her.
But you've told a few different people some stories about Sherry and on Braddock Road.
I don't know nothing about it. What are you talking about?
you told some stories to different people that I think you trusted at the time about Sherry, about Braddock Road, how y'all stopped on Braddock Road. Do you remember going down Braddock Road?
No, I don't even know where Braddock Road is.
You don't know where Braddock Road is?
Mm-mm.
And at the time of that incident, your phone, and this is why I need an explanation of why you were on Braddock Road, because your phone hits off of Braddock Road that night.
I don't know. Because, see, that's what I was understanding. I lost that phone. That phone that you were talking about, if I remember now, because I lost that phone days prior to the whole incident.
Okay, you lost it prior to the incident?
Yes. And,
how long prior? So 8/2/2117 you lost before the incident?
Yes. And the only people that I was hanging out with at the time was Oliver and that other guy.
So the night that you took Sherry and dropped her off of Lim Turner, or Trout River, I'm sorry, Trout River. How many days before that do you remember not having that phone?
Probably about 3.
Probably about 3 days. Yeah. So you're 100% sure you did not have it that night?
Yes, because I had a different phone number at that time.
And you definitely didn't have it the day after. So you lost it 3 days prior to this. So you didn't have it this night. You didn't have it the next day,
right.
or the next day, or the next day, or any time after that.
Right.
Done. Now, tell me about when you were married to Samantha.
Oh, that was a roller. This woman here, I ended up divorcing her because she just was going crazy. She was into this stuff called swinging, where she wanted multiple partners, and I just wasn't with it. Yeah. And she's been trying to get me back for years. She finally realized I wasn't. I hadn't seen her since probably 2010, 2009, 2010. Mm-hmm. And we got our divorce. Last time I saw her, we got our divorce. After that, I never heard nothing else from her. Then she finds out I'm working up here at Ace Hardware at the time. So she tries to talk to me. She says, "Won't you call me sometime?" I said, "No, I'm happily with somebody. And I don't want to call you because I don't want to cause that kind of disturbance."
She came up there?
Oh, yes. So then, next thing I know, I'm getting served with a restraining order from her. And my fiance can tell you, I don't even talk to this woman more or less go around her, period.
So before y'all got signed divorce papers, when's the last time you saw her before that? You said 2009?
2009, 2010, maybe.
So you didn't see her after this incident in 2012?
Johnny was married to Samantha Johnson. However, due to his past criminal history and domestic issues, the couple decided to part ways. After their separation, Johnny began dating another woman named Jordan. Until now, Johnny seems quite confident in countering the accusations. However, this certainty is not without basis. He has carefully planted alibis over the last 4 years, which have saved him so far. Now, these alibis will become the very reason to drastically flip the entire case against him.
Why would she tell me after this incident in 2012, and we're talking October of 2012 is when this girl goes missing,
right,
that she saw you?
That woman there, let me tell you something.
And that you came over there.
Let me tell you something. This woman here got DCF called to my mom because I wouldn't take her back. Tried to get DCF called to me. My 15-year-old is 6'3", 255 pounds. He bench presses over 200 pounds. Told DCF that I choke him out and beat him and kick him with steel-toe boots on. There's no way without repercussions, you know? And when DCF saw them, they dropped all charges on me and my mom. But she's periodically, she goes around she thinks it can work in her favor some kind of way, she would throw my name out there, just like she went to my Aunt Betty one time and told her, while I was on the road, told her that I was in Callahan outside of her house stalking her. But at the time, I was in Chicago, Illinois.
Well, Johnny, I can prove that that's not true.
Yeah, I can prove it is true.
I can prove that I can actually prove that the exact day that she came over to your house in 2012 and y'all had in your garage.
No. The only time she came over to my house, and if it was in 2012, it was to sign the divorce papers.
I know, that wasn't, divorce papers didn't get filed in 2012.
But that's the only time she came over to my house, was to sign divorce papers. I never had with her in my garage. I don't mess around with that woman. My mother, Dana, and a whole bunch of other people will tell you the same thing. That woman will tell you that I have. That woman will tell you I will.
So, Johnny, you never confessed to Samantha that you killed this girl? You never confessed to Jordan that you killed this girl?
No.
You never confessed to Michael Carroll Hayseed that you killed this girl?
No.
You never confessed to Ollie that you killed this girl?
No.
And the whole thing with the cell phone is the cell phone number you said you lost 3 days before?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
No.
Because it's at Boots and Bottles when you're there and when you leave, and it follows down Trout River.
And I have
Up
all his
US
text
1.
messages.
Then if it was there, it wasn't in my possession.
Well,
Yes,
then
it was. 'Cause you're
someone was
texting
following you.
Samantha
No.
and Jordan.
I don't fool around with her.
When you were
period.
texting Jordan, you were dating Jordan then.
I was dating Jordan in
Right.
2012.
Right,
I
you're
don't
talking
mess
to her on this phone. I have
Y'all
your
are
phone
talking-
record.
and maybe in the beginning of 2000.
No, honey, I have your,
At the
I
day
have
of
your
this
phone
murder.
records.
But like,
I have your phone records, your text messages. Johnny, this has been a 4-year investigation.
but I didn't do this, is what I'm saying.
Well, but you're not telling me. You think all these people are going to say that you confessed to them and you didn't? You think that your phone records are going to show one thing and you're telling me that you didn't have that phone for 3 days prior to this incident? That's a lie and I can prove it.
But I'm telling you, I didn't.
But
I
you
didn't.
did.
No, I'm saying I didn't do this.
You had this. You had Samantha. You saw her in 2012.
But what does that
You
got to
talked
do?
her.
What does that got to do with this?
It shows
Because-
you're lying to us right now. That's what it
But
shows.
I'm just telling you, I don't remember all the dates
Okay.
from back then.
But if you're lying to us about this, why should we believe you about that?
Well, I understand it. But
Okay.
I don't remember everything about.
Not everything, but you were you remember very well that, oh no, 3 days before that incident, I didn't have that
That's
phone.
what I'm thinking. Is it might have been 3 days, but I don't know when exactly I lost the phone. It could have been 3 days. It could have been somewhere in between, but I don't remember. But I do remember dropping her off on Trout River.
On Braddock Road, because that's where
No.
your phone goes.
I did not drop her off on.
So
Braddock.
you had that phone, and your phone goes to Braddock Road.
No, if it was like I said, I didn't even know that road was Braddock Road.
Okay, but you had her on the motorcycle, so you actually go past where you say, y'all keep going, and y'all do go to Braddock Road.
No.
Whether you know the name of it or not, that's where your phone goes.
What I'm saying is, I never took this girl to Braddock Road. I never took her there.
How did she get there with your phone at the same time? Explain that. I'm
What
confused.
do you mean she was there at the same time my phone?
Your phone was there on Braddock Road the evening that her body was put there.
And I don't know how it got there, because all I know is that night when I woke up the next day, I could not call Ollie at all. I could not call nobody at all
How's that?
because I had no phone.
Yes, you did.
And the
Matter
next
of fact,
day,
you called Ollie that night several times.
I had no phone.
No,
I'm telling
you
you.
did. No, I'm telling you.
Well, the next day, that's what you're telling people after you've contacted people, is that you lost your phone.
The
But you were
truth,
contacting people.
John, if you're telling the truth, you can remember exactly. You can't remember because you're not telling the truth.
No, I'm being honest with you. I cannot remember everything, every detail.
But if
You
it
gotta
was the
understand.
truth, you could remember.
But you got to understand, I've had a lot to go on
Sure.
since then. I was drugged not long ago. I was put in the hospital for 3 days. I was found, my fiance will tell you, I was found inside of a shed in Sarasota, Florida. When I was brought up here to St. Vincent's Hospital, they couldn't even draw my blood out with a syringe. According to my fiance, the doctors told her I had something called Rohypnol in my system. And I didn't even know what that was.
That doesn't affect your memory.
No, but what I'm saying is, my wife would even tell you, I have trouble remembering dates. I have trouble remembering times.
This is an incident you will never forget.
I don't forget this because of the
Exactly.
face.
You don't forget this because
But
this girl went
simple-
missing when she was with you.
But simple things like losing a cell phone, I will forget. But this, I don't.
Well, that's fine. We can tell you didn't lose the cell phone. You had the cell phone the night this happened.
In the morning.
And the next morning.
When you're blowing up Ollie's phone. Because you're nervous.
No, I wasn't nervous. I was not nervous. What did I have to be nervous about? I didn't even know the girl was missing. I didn't know the girl was missing until...
Do you want me to read your text messages? Because I will surprise you with what you were texting your friends. I don't think obviously you don't remember what you texted. But Johnny, this has been a 4-year investigation that has been out there.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm being honest with you. I don't know.
You're not being honest, Johnny, but you got to explain your side of the story.
And I have been. I dropped her off on Trout River.
But you didn't.
I did.
You took her to Braddock Road.
No.
But what happened after Braddock Road? Did you just leave her on Braddock Road? I don't know, but you have to explain why you went to Braddock Road. That's what I need to know.
I didn't know that was Braddock Road.
But that's where you were.
Johnny clings to his initial narrative that he dropped Sherry off at a house before the tragic incident. Even though he attempts to elicit detective sympathy by presenting himself as a victim, they don't seem to fall for his tricks. The detectives are persistent and confrontational from the beginning. They're armed with evidence that will gradually peel back the dark layers of the past 4 years. Back in 2012, though they lacked enough evidence to charge Johnny, he still remained their prime suspect. His ex-wife, Samantha Johnson, had informed detectives about Johnny's disturbing secret, one she had concealed for far too long.
Okay, what do you say about the girl that was on the back of the motorcycle?
He took her to somewhere off Trout River Boulevard, Braddock Road, and dropped her off.
And at that point, he shot her?
Yes, sir. He said he didn't have enough time to move the female, so he just dragged her into the woods.
But this sole statement wasn't sufficient to build a case. In an attempt to aid detectives in getting stronger evidence, Samantha agreed to wear a hidden recording device. She hoped this would help get a confession from Johnny.
It was a detective that was investigating a missing persons case.
Yeah.
Who discovered it off of a tip.
But isn't that the place that you said all this happened?
Like I said, I ain't just...
But what really happened?
It is what it is. Right now, I don't want to really get into it until it's over with, if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay, fair enough.
Unfortunately, Samantha couldn't elicit a confession. But this incident later became evidence against Johnny, contradicting his claim that he had not met Samantha since 2010. But what is even more puzzling is that despite being warned about detectives' awareness, he continues to lie his way out. Gradually, his lies begin to fall apart. Yet, this is merely a glimpse. Johnny's shifting accounts will leave everyone wondering how far he will go to reshape reality in his favor.
You've got the phone, okay? You've got the phone before you pick Sherry up. Mm-hmm. You've got the phone after Sherry's gone, and you're texting, what's the girl's name at that time? I'm sorry. Jordan. You're texting Jordan, you're calling Ollie.
Right.
I mean, and that's what she's gonna pull up is some text messages. There's text messages between you and Jordan, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like, hey, bring your truck over here, things like that are, you need help.
It's probably because my bike was down at the time.
Your bike was in your driveway, you said, when it got
but
down.
I'm saying my bike, sometimes it
Did Sherry
shuts
knock
off.
your bike over?
No. Sometimes my bike...
Sherry knocked his bike over.
No, Sherry did not knock my bike over. Sometimes my bike shuts off on its own. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it don't. Sometimes I need tools to finagle it,
But at 3 o'clock in the morning, you need Jordan to come over and...
She lived with me.
Okay. But you're saying you were in the driveway when it fell over.
Yeah, but when it fell over now, Jordan met me at the house.
But that's not what she says.
Or
She met you at the house later that night, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, later that evening you called her.
Later that evening she met me at the house.
Because you called her.
Mm-hmm.
And then after
on this phone.
Correct, on that phone.
I may have called her on that phone.
You did.
I don't remember when I lost this, what I'm saying. I don't remember when I lost it. Now, what I do remember is where I dropped this young lady off at.
That's a long distance
crazy.
from where you dropped her off to where she's found.
Right.
Where your phone is.
Right.
I mean, 3 days after you still have this phone.
No.
Yes, you do.
I don't know if I do or not.
You do. We can
If
tell you
I
from
got the
phone
phone,
records.
I got the phone.
You changed phone numbers 3 days after or so.
Johnny, the only thing that's going to explain your side of the story is the truth of why you went down Braddock Road. We can prove it.
And when I left, I went home.
That still doesn't explain how your phone ends up on Braddock Road.
I don't know.
Okay.
All I know is when I realized my phone was missing, that is when a lot of my friends started acting funny around me. Mm-hmm. And then people started staying away from me.
But your phone, you had your phone another 3 days at least after she went missing.
I may have.
You did according to your phone records.
Yeah, I may
and then
have.
you changed phone numbers.
Yeah, because that's when I noticed my phone was missing. And I asked Ollie, I said, did you see my phone? Did I leave it at your shop? He said, no. I said, okay. And I went to Wolverine. He would never answer his phone. Mm-hmm. He would never answer his door. So I was like, okay. So when Ollie said, Wolverine said he never saw it. I asked Shooter. Shooter said he didn't see it.
They were assembling a wall of evidence that would dismantle his facade. In 2016, the final and most crucial witness, Michael Carroll, Johnny's friend, came forward with details that were about to alter the course of this twisted case. He informed detectives that on the day of Sherry's murder, Johnny called him. He admitted to dumping her body and said that he had messed up and needed help in cleaning. Michael's confession matched the timeline and the location where Sherry was found. Back in the interrogation room, detectives confront Johnny with the mounting evidence, and the cracks in his story begin to show. Sensing that detectives are closing in on him, Johnny tries every possible way to deflect the blame. However, he remains unaware that each new shift in his narrative only makes him more suspicious.
That's a big gamble I would never be willing to take.
But I didn't.
That's my freedom, Johnny. That's your freedom.
I know, and that's
You're
what
gambling with it.
I'm pleading with you. I did not do this.
Okay, if you didn't do this, how... Okay, maybe you did not do this. Maybe you did not.
I didn't.
Okay, maybe you didn't. But what we can prove is that you were on Braddock Road the night she went missing.
Okay.
Explain Braddock Road, and I don't want to hear no more bullshit about, I know where Braddock Road is. That's a bunch of crap. I don't want to hear it anymore. Were you or were you not on Braddock Road with Sherry Prather that night after you took her on your motorcycle?
We met that guy.
Where?
We met him where is it that? The guy I told you that was here.
On Laney Road.
Yeah, we met him here.
You met him at the intersection of Braddock and Laney.
Yeah.
Okay, why is your story changing again?
Because I'm scared.
You got no reason to change
What are you
the
scared
story.
for? What are you scared for?
I'm scared of this guy.
You're scared of this guy?
Oh, I'm real scared of this guy. You
So-
don't know what I know.
Well, then
You
let me
haven't-
ask you that. Before I talk about that, let me just make this clear, because again, I don't want you to appear like a liar
Right.
to others people.
Right.
We're gonna go
Well-
back. Do you?
If I
Or do
tell
you
you,
not?
if I tell you what I know
Yes.
about this
Okay.
and tell you about that guy,
Okay.
you got to promise me whatever happens to me does not happen to my kids, because this guy will kill me.
Oh, none of your kids. Listen though, I need the truth right now. Your only last chance to tell me the truth. You do or do not know Braddock Road? Yes or no?
I didn't know the name of it, but we were on that road.
And how do you know that?
Because we met that guy here.
How do you know if you don't know the name of that road? Now remember.
Because he told me where it's at, and I remember.
But I don't want
going
anybody putting words in your mouth.
No.
Okay.
I remembered how we got on that road, and I honestly do, and this is the honest truth. And I'm scared right now.
Well, just the truth is what's going to help, so go ahead.
No, I'm telling you right now, if I tell you about this guy, he is mean. He will get me.
Now, who is he?
I don't know his name, but I know his face. He's short. He's about my height, but he's got tattoos on his head. He hangs out with Big Mike that runs with the Outlaws.
Okay, well, you haven't told us who he is. Tell us what happened.
When I come down, she made a call. Mm-hmm. And when I come down, we met them people here.
Okay.
Johnny conveniently employs memory defense, a calculated technique to avoid committing to a disproven timeline. He also attempts to mask his image of a cold-blooded killer by portraying himself as an innocent man, afraid for his life. When confronted about disposing Sherry's body, Johnny deflects the blame, asserting he is incapable of such lethal violence. However, eventually, he becomes trapped in his own web of lies. To this point, the only account he has been holding on to from the beginning has also changed. So far, Johnny's account contains a multitude of denials. However, despite his efforts, detectives challenge his excuses with evidence, making his claims unlikely to hold up. As the moment of reckoning comes closer, the circle tightens, forcing Johnny to unleash a drama that defies explanation.
I didn't kill anybody. I haven't killed anybody, and I'm not going to start killing anybody. I won't even kill an animal.
I guess everybody was wrong in 2004. Everybody's wrong now.
Can I call my wife?
Yes, you're going to be able to call your wife. You got any other questions for him?
Can I go home?
No, you cannot.
Why is that?
Because I'm charging you with murder.
I didn't do murder.
Well, I'm charging you with it, and we can prove it, Johnny.
No, you cannot, because I didn't do it.
Okay.
Well, that'll be up for you to...
All right, I want my lawyer.
Yes.
Perfect.
Just have to...
Now you can have a seat.
Absolutely.
I want to call my wife.
After what you get next door in the jail, you get to call your wife.
She doesn't have a way for me to call her collect.
There's no way to call her here either. It's going to have...
What about my cell phone? Because I didn't do nothing, and this is wrong.
Johnny.
Here's the phone book. Here's the property.
Throughout, Johnny displays signs of strategic patience, trying to maintain control by his fabricated version of events. However, when he faces the unforgiving reality, his composure cracks. Johnny realizes that he has lost his ability to manipulate detectives, and his lies are no longer sufficient to save him. His erratic behavior and constant self-reinforcement of his innocence reflect his stress and fear of the consequences. It becomes more apparent as he heads down a path beyond his control. The motive behind this unimaginable crime remains unclear, leading detectives to conclude that the act was opportunistic rather than intentional. Johnny was charged with second-degree murder. Initially, he pleaded not guilty. However, 2 years later, in 2018, Johnny changed his plea to guilty on second-degree murder. The same day, he was sentenced to 20.5 years in prison as part of a plea deal.
On the night of July 18, 2004, this footage captured Mark Douglas Hacking and Lori Suarez Hacking, who were expecting their first child, entering a convenience store. Little did Lori know that these were her last moments before she mysteriously vanished without a trace. As the interrogation unfolded, Mark seemed cooperative with detectives in providing every detail they asked for. However, what they stumble upon next goes beyond disturbing, exposing the dark secret Lori had discovered, a secret that would ultimately cost her life.
I've got these circumstances that look bad. And then I asked him, I said, after the lie detector test, and I pass it, can we be done with everything? And he said yes. So I feel like if I don't take this, then I'm just going to be drilled.
At 10:49 a.m. on July 19, 2004, Mark made a disturbing 911 call to report the disappearance of his wife, Lori. According to him, she had not returned from her morning jog, which was quite unusual. The next day, Lori's family held a press conference and issued a heartfelt appeal for public assistance in locating her. Over 1,200 volunteers participated in the search and distributed missing persons posters throughout Salt Lake City. To gain further insight into this disturbing event, Mark is taken into custody for questioning.
Just tell me, in your words, what's been going on so far today.
My wife got up at 5 this morning, went running. And I stayed in bed. I woke up at 8 and she hadn't awakened me when she got home and showered and went to work at 7. Or at least I thought that's what had happened. Most of the time I drive her to work, and she wakes me up when she's ready and I take her to work, but sometimes she drives. And today she was driving, so when I woke up and she was gone, I just figured she hadn't awakened me, just let me sleep. And so I got up at 8, did some things. I played my Nintendo a bit, and we needed a new mattress. We decided to get one, so I went, and we had been shopping around, looking at different places, and I had found one.
What time was that?
I left my place at about 9. Drove around. Most of the places were closed where I was looking, but one place said on the door that they would open at 10. But I got there.
What place was that, you know?
I can't remember the name, but it's right next to R.C. Willey.
One place had a sign.
It said 10, but I was there at probably a little after 9, and the door was open. I went in and someone helped me.
Okay, which R.C. Willey was this by?
21st South.
The one there on 300 West? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go in there because the door's open.
And they had the mattresses we were looking at. They were sort of extreme comfort or something like that. And it was a good deal. So
how much did you pay for it?
I paid like $500, somewhere around there. And they had, we needed new pillows too. Our pillows were pretty shot. And I bought 2 pillows. And they were something like $49 a piece or $50 a piece or something.
Okay, did you buy sheets or anything like that to go along with them?
No.
No, you didn't buy any sheets?
No.
How much did you say the pillows were? About
$50.
So I spent about $600 on the mattress and the pillows.
About that.
Okay. But you don't remember the name of the place?
It's called something like it has something to do with sleeping comfortably or something like that. Like that's the title.
Okay, so you buy the mattress. Did they deliver? Did you have to take it home, or how did it work?
Took it home.
You took it home? In what kind of vehicle? About what time did you leave the store? Let's keep the timeline down here. Just
9:30.
So you wasn't there very long. Was really quick.
No. On top of my car.
On top of your car? Did you tie it down or anything, or what'd you tie it down with?
Twine.
Do you know where the twine's at now? Do you know what happened to it?
It should be in my dumpster.
Okay.
Mark appears calm and cooperative, casually recounting his mundane activities. But suddenly, inconsistencies in his story begin to surface. His ability to remember the amount he spent and struggle to recall the location raises an immediate concern. Additionally, there is one more disturbing question that further raises the detective's suspicion. Why did Mark go buy a mattress if he was worried about his wife's disappearance? Well, as simple as this detail may appear, it will more likely turn out to be a pivotal clue, aiding detectives in solving this twisted case.
Okay, what happened after you got the mattress home?
I put it on my bed. I was putting sheets on. Called my wife while I was putting sheets on. And someone else answered the phone.
About what time is this?
About 10.
Called wife's cell phone?
No.
No.
Her
Work phone?
phone.
So I'm trying to get for assuming there. What was the reason for the call?
Just to say hi.
Okay. Call wife's work phone, someone else answered. Do you know who answered?
His name is Brandon.
Do you know him?
My wife is training him. I had never met him.
Okay. What happened during the telephone call?
I asked to talk to my wife. Well, I don't remember the exact words. He said something along the lines, is Lori okay? And I
Brandon asked you that?
Yeah, and I said, I don't know. And he told me she hadn't come in. So I went looking for her.
Okay, how did you know where to go look?
Because she runs in the same place every day.
She goes up there every single day?
No.
Most of the time?
5 or 6 days a week.
Okay. Okay, about what time was it you left to go look for her?
Just after 10, just right away.
So it was close to 10, 10, 15, 10, 10?
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. 10, I'll just say 10 to 10, 15, just guessing.
Okay.
I'll put a question mark so we're not being held to. Did you see what she was wearing? You're probably given that information. You didn't? Okay. Any assumption? Does she have like shorts she wears all the time, or does she have different ones? Or
Different ones.
Different ones each day, huh? Doesn't want to get stinky.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, detectives continue their search for clues, and they eventually uncover an important piece of evidence. They find Lori's car keys and purse at her home, casting doubt on her ability to drive far away without them. Furthermore, while questioning Lori's family members, detectives also learned that she was preparing for a cross-country move with Mark, an aspiring doctor who had recently graduated from the University of Utah and was set to attend medical school at the University of North Carolina. With so much on the list, it's puzzling why Lori would disappear without a trace. However, unbeknownst to the detectives, these seemingly trivial details will reveal a chilling connection to Lori's disappearance, something they could never have anticipated.
Okay, so you went looking up there. When did you decide to call the police?
Right away. Right. I tried before I left the apartment, but it was busy. So I grabbed my phone book.
What number did you dial, do you know?
Dispatch.
The phone was busy, or did it have a recording, or what was it?
It was busy.
Like beep, beep, beep. You don't remember what number it was you called?
No, but I called the same one from my car.
Okay. How long was it when you called back again? In your car?
Just a matter of minutes, 3 minutes.
And you got in okay? Okay. So you called before you even got up there to look for her? Okay, what happened when you got up to Memory Grove? Did you get up there before the police, or about how long did it take you to drive up there?
Like 10 minutes.
So now we're around about 10:30.
Probably.
Say. Did you find her car?
Mm-hmm.
Does she park it in the same place when she goes jogging up there, or? I haven't been up there. I don't know where it's at or anything.
There's not. It's just on the street. Just.
Is it on the road that goes around, or is it up the canyon?
Down in Memory Grove.
Down at the bottom by the gate and all that? Okay. And that's just where you found it? You're not sure that's where she always parks it or anything?
She parks it on that road every time.
Every time?
I'm just. You say the same place. It's on the road.
I mean general.
Right.
Not the same parking spot. Nobody can get there.
Right.
Okay, when you Did the cops arrive shortly after you, or were they already there?
No, they told me they couldn't look for her for 24 hours.
That's what they told you on the phone? Okay. So how did you finally get him up there?
Other people called.
Other people called? Do you know who?
Throughout Mark's recounting, he shows signs of delayed urgency. Despite his best attempts to appear concerned, his emotionally hollow statements and delay regarding his wife's well-being seem inconsistent and unconvincing. However, as more details unravel, what follows next will be intriguing to watch. Ironically, the very story Mark weaves to shield himself will ultimately expose his guilt and turn the investigation against him.
So other people called and then they said they'd go up there?
People she works with, co-workers, but I don't know who.
Did you call them and tell them that that's what they had told you or anything? Her fellow workers, or did they all just start calling in on their own?
When I got to Memory Grove this morning, they knew what was going on because I'd been on the phone with them and I told them I was going out there, and they just showed up.
All of our friends?
Yeah.
Okay. Her friends were at Memory Grove. Do you know how many of them called in?
Called the police?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was up searching when they called and said, the police are here now.
They called you on your cell phone and told you? Okay, do you know about what time the cops arrived up there? No idea.
11.
Okay. Okay. And between that time you had been up looking in the shrubs and all that? Okay.
As the investigation progresses, detectives uncover additional incriminating evidence that convinces them of Mark's lies. They discover a blood-covered knife in his bedroom with fiber stuck to it. Additionally, the forensic teams find a blood stain inside Mark's vehicle, adding to the mounting evidence against him. However, they decide not to disclose these details until they are certain that the blood belongs to Lori. Meanwhile, in the interrogation room, the detective decides to make a final strategic move to observe Mark's reaction, which will unlikely be what one would expect from an innocent person.
That brings us that's about the twist of it right there. I just had to get a basis for the questions. Okay, let me explain the test to you. You understand it so you feel comfortable with it, and so you won't be afraid of it. Okay? What this is a truth verification machine. Okay? Have you ever had a lie detector test, the old-fashioned type? If you've seen them on TV, okay, they have like the box and they have all the arms going around, the papers rolling, the guy's sitting in the chair and he's all strapped up and all that stuff. Okay? That was developed in the 1930s. Okay? We're hoping technology's advanced a little more since then, and that's what this is. Okay? Before we get going, we need to take care of some items of business here. How do you spell your last name?
H-A-C-K-I-N-G.
This is just waiver form. It's basically saying you're taking this of your own free will. Nobody's forcing you or coercing you or anything of that nature.
Okay.
Okay, you can agree with that. If you can agree with that, just sign that there.
Okay. I do feel coerced into taking this.
And how do you feel? I mean, let me explain this to you. Nobody's making you take this test. If you don't want to, you can walk right out that door right
And
now.
what happens to me?
You walk out the door and I take you back up to your car.
Okay. And if I refuse, of course that makes me look guilty.
It's not admissible in court anyway.
So what are you doing?
Just gives us... We trust the machine, the courts just don't. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It just gives us something to verify the information we've got so far. And obviously, as you said, obviously, we got some concerns about this mattress thing. Okay, obviously some concerns are going to come up about that, and we just want to get them clarified. Because we interview people that have killed people all the time, and they don't tell us the truth. That's why we have this machine. You see where we're coming from? If somebody's killed somebody, they're not going to come out and tell us, yeah, I killed them. And that's what this machine is just for.
But at the same time, I've got these circumstances that look bad. And I feel like, and then I asked him, I said, after the lie detector test, and I pass it, can we be done with everything? And he said yes. So I feel like if I don't take this, then I'm just going to be drilled.
Well, here's the other thing. If you got nothing to worry, if you haven't done anything, you have nothing to worry about, even if they do go through that evidence. Do you know what I'm saying? You have nothing to lose by this.
Okay. I don't think I want to take it.
Okay. And nobody's gonna force you to. Okay. Let's just come on here. Take you just a minute.
With evidence stacking against Mark and his refusal to take a polygraph, it's evident that he's trying to conceal something sinister. However, it won't be long before his dark secrets will be exposed. Shortly after the interrogation concluded, Mark was spotted running naked through the streets with only his sandals on. He was immediately admitted to a hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. While being treated in the hospital, this time had been enough for Mark to rethink his decision. He finally decided to confide in his brothers, Scott and Lance Hacking, about the evil secrets he had concealed for so long. He told them that around midnight on July 18th, as Lori went to bed, he took a .22 caliber rifle and shot her in the head while she was asleep. He then threw the weapon and disposed of the blood-soaked mattress in a nearby dumpster, according to police reports. The mattress was cut with a knife found at his home. Furthermore, after executing the harrowing crime, he wrapped Lori in a carpet and disposed of her dead body in a dumpster near the University of Utah. Ironically, the very place where he was working and educating people about psychological issues. The following day, all this information was relayed to the police. Mark's confession confirmed him as Lori's murderer, who, after killing her, staged her disappearance to avoid suspicion. As the real monster behind this gruesome murder was discovered, the only vital question that remained unanswered was what had driven Mark to a point that led him to carry out such a harrowing crime. The answer to this question was also about to be unraveled. During the investigation, detectives had discovered another disturbing piece of evidence, a letter from Lori stating, "I hate coming home from work because it hurts. I can't imagine life with you if things don't change." While questioning Lori's manager, he revealed that the day before her disappearance, Lori had left the office in tears. Further inquiries revealed that Lori had contacted the medical school in North Carolina to finalize the housing arrangements. During this call, she learned that Mark had never received his degree from the University of Utah and never applied to medical school. According to investigators, on the night of July 18th, Lori wrote Mark a note stating her intention to leave him after she had discovered that everything Mark told her about his background was a lie, which ultimately prompted him to tragically end her life. On August 2nd, 2004, Mark was finally arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Throughout this period, a massive landfill search was carried out to find Lori's body. Eventually, after 2 months of grueling search, on October 1st, searchers found human remains in the Salt Lake City landfill and eventually determined those to be of Lori. However, due to decomposition, the medical examiners couldn't confirm her pregnancy. Mark ultimately met the terrible fate he had chosen for himself. On October 29, 2004, Mark pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder. However, Mark later changed his plea to guilty of first-degree murder in exchange for the dismissal of additional charges against him. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison on June 6, 2005, the maximum sentence allowed under Utah law at the time. A month later, the Utah Board of Pardons announced that Mark Hacking would not be eligible for parole until at least 2035, which would require him to serve a minimum of 30 years in prison.
His body is in the car, is strangled.
Wait, you have a body in the car right now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, no, hold on. We'll,
My third child. His body is in the car, is strangled.
Wait, you have a body in the car right now?
Yes.
Okay.
This is 53-year-old Indian immigrant Shankar Nagupa, a man calmly driving through California with his son's rotting body in the back of his car. What detectives don't yet know is that this drive only began after he had already killed the rest of his family over the span of 6 days.
How did you kill
I hanged them.
You hanged them. Okay, how were you able to hang them?
With fire, with a rope.
What seemed like confusion or even an episode of hallucination slowly turns into the confession of a man who carried out one of the most gruesome, cold, and calculated crimes the detectives would ever come across. In early October 2019, something began unfolding behind the closed doors of a quiet apartment in Roseville, California. Over the course of several days, Shankar murdered his wife and 2 of his children, one by one, each death happening in silence, unnoticed by the outside world. What makes those days especially disturbing is that life inside the apartment did not appear to stop. The home remained closed, the neighborhood unaware, while his eldest son was still alive inside, moving through the same space without knowing what had already happened. Nearly a week later, on October 13, 2019, the final chapter moved far beyond that apartment. Shankar took his eldest son on a long drive north toward the small town of Mount Shasta. From their apartment in Roseville, he drove approximately 277 miles, a journey lasting nearly 4 hours and 20 minutes, traveling deep into the rural stretches of Siskiyou County, California. Somewhere along that remote route, far from witnesses or help, the last life was also taken. After killing his eldest son in a rural area of Siskiyou County, Shankar did not stop or flee. Instead, he continued driving another 40 miles to Mount Shasta. There, he walked into the police station to confess. This is not someone running from the law. This is someone walking straight into it. What happened inside the confession room led investigators to ask whether this was guilt or a carefully calculated act.
Okay, let's just start from the beginning. Okay, so who are you?
My name is Shankar Hanwood. S-H.
Do you have any ID on you?
It's in the car.
What's in the car? Okay, how do you spell your name?
S-H-A-N-K-A-R.
K-A-R, okay.
Last name H-A-N-G-U-D.
Okay, so you said that you...
I am surrendering for the murder of my wife and 3 children.
Excuse me.
Okay, what was your wife's name?
Jyoti. J-Y-O-T-H-I.
Okay, and you said your 3 kids?
Yes.
Okay, so the 3 children, what were your 3 children's names?
Sure. The first one is Varun, V-A-R-U-N.
V-A-R-U-N, okay.
Did this happen in Roseville, sir?
Yes.
Roseville, California.
All right. And when did this happen?
7th, 8th, and 9th.
7th, 8th, and 9th of this month?
Of this month.
Okay, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
how did you kill
I
them?
hanged them.
You hanged them. Okay, how were you able to hang them?
With fire, with a rope. And the 4th person, which is my 3rd child, his body is in the car, is strangled.
Wait, you have a body in the car right now?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, no, hold on. We'll,
The car is parked right next to the fire station.
Okay. Is there any weapons that I should be concerned about? Do you have any weapons on you?
There are 2 knives. I thought of killing myself, then I said, no, that is wrong. I should not.
You will turn yourself in to
What I did
justice?
to them, I should suffer.
Okay. Do you mind if I pat you down real quick? Make sure you don't have any weapons? Okay.
Sure.
Why don't you turn around for me real quick, okay?
Not a problem.
All right.
If I didn't have intention, then I would have come here.
Okay, no, that's fine. All right, so why don't you show me where the car's at, okay?
I have a gas lighter, some money.
No, that's fine. Why don't you show me where the car's at?
Sure,
Okay.
let's walk down. Shall I leave it here?
Hey, Sarge. He's got an 1144 allegedly in a vehicle out here down the street. He's got an 1144 in a car down the street. Okay. I'm going to have you turn around for me, okay? Yeah, all right. So I'm just detaining you right now. I'm going to go take a look at your car. So where was your car parked at?
Just next to the gas station.
Next-
It's a red Mazda. You can't.
Red Mazda.
Next to the gas station. Sorry, not gas station. Fire station.
Okay. I got keys, Sarge. You need the keys, pop the trunk? He's giving us permission.
It's not in the trunk. It's in the car.
In the car.
You're just sitting in the car?
Yeah. Male boy, 20 years old.
Okay. Why don't we walk in here, okay? Hey, Judd, can you grab his change there for me? Thank you. All right. I'm going to see here. Actually, we'll walk you over this way, okay? All right. We're going to go take a right here, okay?
Hey, Judd, no more questions on him.
Can I get some water, please?
Oh, yeah, we'll get you some water. Here, why don't you take a seat here, okay?
Sure.
All right. Judd, you want me to just Mirandize?
Nope.
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 All right, just take a seat for me, okay?
You sit down.
Okay. Yep. All right, we're going to hang tight real quick, okay, sir? All right. Just let him know.
The confession itself was no longer in doubt. Shankar had already admitted to killing his wife and children. What detectives needed next was a clear understanding of how the crime unfolded, the sequence, the timing, and the choices made along the way. As the questioning continued, Shankar began to describe those details, allowing investigators to slowly piece together the full scope of what had happened.
So, obviously you've been here for a while and you've been in a jail cell, so I want to read your rights, okay? Obviously it's been kind of a rough day. I just kind of want to find out, obviously, what led you up to this point and kind of what happened.
I was with him the whole day after I strangulated. Thought of many options. Even I thought of strangulating myself. I put them in so much pain. I deserve a lot more punishment.
And that's when you decided to come in here?
Yes. I had driven by this place. I'd gone to the park there with my son yesterday to get some water. So I had seen the police strangle my son. I said, my car did not have gas to drive to those rooms. And I did not have money. All I had was $4.25. I don't want death penalty. No, that is easy.
It sounds like you feel bad for...
I feel miserable for putting them through it. But I deserve the worst. Strangulating myself is easy. No, I don't deserve easy.
Yeah.
I want my brother to come and take the bodies and cremate them. But I don't want to meet anybody. No visitors, no lawyers. I want punishment. I don't want to meet my brother.
You don't want to meet your brother?
I don't want to meet anybody. I let him come, take the bodies and cremate them.
As the interview continued, Shankar spoke calmly about the days leading up to the murders. He described a life he felt was unraveling, marked by pressure, frustration, and a growing sense of loss of control. His voice remained steady, almost detached. Before describing what he had done, he made a strange request, as if he wanted the truth to disappear just as quietly as they had. Most telling was how he spoke about his own death. When he had the chance to die, he stopped. He decided it was too easy and allowed himself time to reconsider. That moment of hesitation wasn't about guilt. It was about control. He wanted to choose when it ended, not just for himself, but for everyone around him. His wife and children were never given that choice. Psychologically, the contrast is stark. He preserved agency and restraint for himself, while denying both entirely from them.
So what I want to do is kind of go back. I'm going to go through kind of a timeline just a little slower.
N number of times you can do it. I'll try to remember it as much as possible. Don't ask me dates, because after this 9th, I lost track of date. I don't know what today is. I think today is 13th or maybe the 14th. I'm not sure.
It's the 14th day. So you mentioned you discussed this on the 3rd. You thought with your family.
I informed my kids on the 29th.
Okay. The 29th that you were planning on.
On 29th, I said, you know what? I do not have not found a job. My plan is to end our lives. So I gave them an option to brood it over, whether they want to die with us or whether they want to live by themselves. My daughter wanted to, but I knew she didn't stand a chance.
Your daughter was...
My daughter and my youngest son were apprehensive because they were full of life.
Yeah.
She was working in Gap Kids. She was studying in Wood Creek Elementary. Not elementary, Wood Creek High. She was getting A's. All A's this year. Don't be nice to me. I'm not a nice guy. A horrible person. So they were thinking they can live by themselves. I told them, you guys don't stand a chance. By the 10th of the month, I'll be kicked out of this apartment. It's not a nice time of the year to be on the streets begging for food.
You mentioned that your two youngest were apprehensive about it.
Yes.
How did your oldest feel about that?
My oldest was thinking. He didn't talk to us. He tried to do research. He told me that day before yesterday. He did research on Craigslist saying that how much does it cost for him to live by himself? How much does it cost for him to pay for insurance for his car?
How was he doing research? Was that what?
With a laptop. He has got a laptop for his phone.
Where is that?
It's at home.
At home.
At home. Have you gone home?
Yeah.
Have you not seen the laptop?
Well, we've been driving, so I haven't been there. I know some other officers are there.
Let me tell you. The master bedroom is where my wife used to sleep. The barricade part was still there. If you have to remove the body, you have to take the barricade away.
Why did she have it barricaded?
She was in pain, so we would hardly talk. She would hardly come downstairs. Probably about a month and a half ago, she stopped eating. And whenever she felt hungry, she used to ask my daughter. So my interaction with my wife was almost negligible. In the other bedroom, I used to sleep with my little son. And downstairs on the sofa, my daughter and my son used to sleep. It was not the best of arrangements. I told my wife, but now once again, in that other bedroom, figure out how much does it cost. If I had to just get a room as a Cadillac dealership or some dealership he was working in, while he was studying in.
Oh, he was trying to get in?
No, he already got
he did get it.
If you check his phone, you'll see the messages. So he said, Dad, with what I'm working, he was... I will not be able to. But the other two little ones, they did not know. And my little one, he didn't have a clue that he was in 8th grade and never came home and studied at home. He said, no, Dad, I can survive. I'm good at studies, Dad. I want to finish my... They all agreed. My two kids convinced my little one.
When the detectives asked him to go back further, Shankar began describing the atmosphere inside the apartment. He spoke about the isolation within the home, strained relationships, and a family no longer functioning together. He explained where each person slept and how daily routines had changed. These details seemed ordinary at first, but together they revealed a household marked by separation and emotional distance long before the violence began. What this reveals is not chaos, but disengagement. His recollection lacks emotion and focuses on logistics, suggesting a mindset already pulling away from the people around him. Psychologically, this kind of detachment often precedes violence, as emotional bonds are replaced with distance and justification.
Who would answer that phone?
It would either be my sister or my sister-in-law.
I think you said it wasn't until the 6th that your wife really started talking to you?
Second that she was not talking to me, but she had a lot of animosity and anger. We had a lot of misunderstanding.
Why was she angry at you?
Basically, it all started off way back in 2012. It is when my depression started off and their non-acceptance of my wife. She did not like the way they treated her. And that anger, by that time I had already left all my relationships. I had stopped talking to my mother at that point. But she did not like it. She said, "You're like your brother when you do this. You're like your sister-in-law when you do this." So I stopped everything. Talking to people, making friends, listening to me. I said, if I make my wife happy, but that anger turned around on me and she started yelling and screaming at me. She was angry. That kind of, when I was depressed, I didn't know what I did. So she felt that I was trying to listen to my family. I tried to patch up over a period of time, so we had our ups and downs.
So you were arguing a lot from 2011 on to...
No, our argument started from the second day of our marriage, not something new. But I tried my level best to improve it. She thought of her way of improving it. I thought my way was better. So here we are. She's dead, I'm alive.
She's dead in what?
I'm alive.
So let's go back. We kind of got off topic a little bit. We were talking about on the 6th, I believe. It was finally decided that you were going to kill her.
I was going to help her in her hanging process.
Okay.
She wanted to be.
Okay.
Yes, me killing her.
And how did that happen? I think you mentioned she tied the noose or the rope.
See, what happened was, on 6th, we all had a nice dinner and went to bed.
And then it was just a nice dinner at home?
No.
Or you usually go out?
I went out and bought food.
In Roseville?
In Roseville.
So you just brought it home?
Right.
And then you had a nice dinner?
Yes.
You and your wife and your 3 kids were all there? And what was the topic of conversation for dinner?
My daughter was on Instagram. My son the eldest one, saying, "Dad, now that I'm going to die, I have been saving money. I want to buy that and play that game and win that game," is what he said. He bought it. I did not.
Okay, your son. Your oldest son bought it.
My oldest son bought it. And they were playing the game. At that point in time, my wife was going through my WhatsApp conversations with my brother and my other family members to see if I was cheating on her. Was I listening to them? Was I doing something wrong against her? She never believed me. She never trusted me. So she was going through, or she spent the whole night going through my WhatsApp conversations with my family. It was not a conversation, to be very frank. It was my family members sending photographs, wishing me for some festival, birthday, things like that, asking questions. How was everybody? They would probably have 100 posts. So she went through that and she felt kind of happy, seeing that it made her feel happy that I didn't do anything wrong for her. I never intended to do wrong. I never wished bad for anybody. Ever. Even when the officer here was sneezing, I wished him, "Bless you, fine." I never wished bad.
At this point in the interview, detectives shifted away from the apartment and began asking about Shankar's past. They were no longer focused on where events happened, but on how they began. What they were looking for was not a single argument, but a pattern. Shankar spoke about years of emotional strain and unresolved conflict, describing it as constant and familiar. His tone remained steady, suggesting these pressures had become normalized. As the questions continued, it became clear that what followed was not sudden or impulsive. The pressure had been building quietly over time. Investigators later learned that this strain was not only emotional. Court records showed that in the weeks before the murders, Shankar was facing a federal tax lien of more than $178,000, a debt he could not resolve or escape. When the numbers on the page became more real than the people in his home, his family stopped being individuals and started being variables in a decision he'd already made. For him, it marked exposure, failure, and the collapse of his identity as a provider. From that point on, the future he imagined began to disappear.
There was hardly any conversation. Between 1 and 2 in the morning, you were to bed. For my son,
Varun said he needed some time. I think
he
before we
needed
left.
some time. The chairs and stools that I have in my house is not enough to the garage. So,
What were you going to tie the rope in the garage for Varun?
garage opener.
Okay. The garage door opener that opens the big door.
So the controller for
Yeah.
that is there, right? It is in the center.
Yeah.
Put that.
You were going to try that. Okay. But you realized that wasn't going to support his weight.
No, I did not realize that.
Okay.
I
Oh, you
never-
actually tried to do it, right?
I never realized that. So, but it was at a height, and the chair was too short for that.
Okay.
So I told her, no, we need to go and ladder.
Okay.
Try that. Make sure it's not too hot. I think it just feels warm.
Who was mentioning a blanket? Did they have a blanket by any chance?
No, probably not.
Thank you, sir. That was good.
Good. Not a little better. So you were going to get a ladder.
So we went to
The one on Fairway.
first comes the Lowe's, then comes the Home Depot.
Okay.
So check the prices.
So you bought a ladder from Home Depot.
Got a letter from Home Depot.
And that would be on the 8th.
9.
Oh, that was the next day. Where'd you guys sleep that night? Upstairs in the
So when I was sleeping, I was writing out my thoughts.
Were you writing during that?
Yes, I was updating that chronicles I was mentioning to you. And I wrote an email to my brother too. If you open the laptop, you will see that email.
You didn't send it though?
I did not send it. Because the plan was to send it after we all died.
Okay.
Or after the kids died and just before me hanging myself. So that did not happen. And in the meantime, as non-payment, Xfinity cancelled my internet connection, so that also went away.
So what time did you go to Home Depot and Lowe's? And then you bought that ladder? What kind of ladder is it? Like the A-frame? Like the ones that...
No, not those big, huge, cumbersome ones. No, there is a little ladder.
Like a step stool?
Kind of a large step stool.
Okay.
Which can...
Like a smaller ladder or large step stool?
I looked for those huge ladders. They were like, I would like to back trace myself. Yeah, I have spent 5 nights outside.
So I was just going to ask you,
Yesterday morning is when I strangled her.
Yesterday
13th morning around 10:30 is when I strangled.
So that puts us, so on the 9th,
9th morning.
you end up in Oroville that night?
No, 9th morning is when I put the noose around my room's neck and the garage. And I put the chair.
And that was morning after you went to Lowe's?
I don't know whether I went to Lowe's on 9th or on 8th afternoon itself. I think so it was the 8th afternoon.
Okay.
Okay,
And then the 9th is when...
9th is when I did that. And the rope snapped. Then
What
I said,
In Shankar's mind, a plan began to form, one that made sense only to him. He started to believe that if he could not fix what he felt was broken beyond repair, the only way forward was to end not just his own life, but his family's as well. For years, Shankar had seen himself as the provider, the one responsible for holding everything together. His sense of worth was tied to success and stability, and as that foundation began to fall apart, it felt to him like everything else in his life was falling apart too.
this is wrong. No, it is so easy. Put through them how many years? My wife got married in 97. 22 years she has suffered. For some reason or the other, all my children are suffering. No, I deserve worse. Sorry. It's not that easy. It's not that simple. If I die, no. I could have ran away. Could have left the car, gone somewhere. I did not do any of that. I said, no, I will come park right next to the police station.
So you drove here and then...
I drove, just parked next. You see the car?
Yeah, I saw that.
I arrived, parked it right there, walked in, and told the lady. And she had a shock of my life. And she saw me at the point, but yes.
The full timeline had now taken shape, as what initially sounded like scattered fragments came together into a clear and deliberate sequence of events. The killings did not occur in a single moment, but unfolded over several days. The first deaths took place on October 7, 2019, inside the Roseville apartment, where Shankar killed his wife and one of his younger children, followed by the death of another child the very next day in the same home. To complete 1 week of horror, on October 13, 2019, Shankar took his eldest son on a long drive more than 200 miles north to the small town of Mount Shasta. Somewhere along the journey, he strangled his son to death.
What do you think should happen to somebody that kills someone?
They should be in jail. They should not get it. That is easy. I could have strangled myself. That is the equivalent of that. Actually, in my letter, I had written saying that not the punishment for murdering 4 people is death penalty, and I'm going to give it to myself.
You say you looked that up?
I wrote that up.
Oh, you wrote that?
It's there in my laptop.
You seem like you're thinking very clearly through this process.
Yes.
And plan kind of what was going to happen.
I don't know how many jobs I applied for. I don't know how many interviews I attended. Got the job.
Yeah.
I said no.
What kind of work were you doing?
I'm supposed to be a data architect, a specialist in managing data. Let's not go by positions.
What's that?
Let's not go by positions, I said. I'm sorry.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any mental health problems?
As the detectives listened, one thing became painfully clear. This wasn't confusion or a breakdown. There was no panic in his voice, no frantic excuses, just a man reconstructing his own logic as if he were explaining a decision he'd already made long before he ever sat in that room. Shankar spoke like a man who believed he had the right to control everything: his life, his family, even their deaths. It was a chilling mix of pride, patriarchy, and pressure, the kind of mindset where one man decides he knows what's best for everyone, even if it destroys them. 2 years after the killings, the case reached its final chapter in court. In September 2021, Shankar Nagupa Hungud pleaded guilty to 3 counts of first-degree murder for the deaths of his children, along with an additional charge relating to his wife's death. The guilty plea brought an end to any trial proceedings and formally accepted responsibility for what had happened. In November 2021, sentencing followed. The court imposed 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. Prosecutors emphasized that the crimes were not the result of a sudden emotional break, but a series of deliberate and calculated acts carried out over multiple days. Today, Shankar is serving his sentence within the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, where he will remain incarcerated for the rest of his life.
Someone killed your ex, shot him 5 times, and let him bleed to death there. Someone shot him because they were really upset with him. They shot him in cold blood.
At this moment, Devin Schreiner realizes she's become a suspect in the horrendous murder of her ex-boyfriend, Jason Schaefer. The sheer monstrosity of the crime haunted the detectives, but as the questioning deepened, a shocking twist emerged that changed the narrative.
I am no longer a part of it. He made that perfectly clear when he decided to sleep with my sister.
The shooter fled the area disguised beneath a hoodie and a mask. As the interrogation unfolds, a web of suspects emerges, each with a reason to want Jason dead. Yet the burning question remains: who pulled the trigger? What Devin doesn't realize is that detectives are sitting on evidence pointing straight to the killer.
I'm telling you, she is a very horrible person. No doubt about it. Absolutely.
On October 13th, 2021, in Longmont, a quiet suburb of Denver, Colorado, 33-year-old mail carrier Jason Schaefer was gunned down in broad daylight while delivering mail.
911, address of the emergency. Yes, hi, I'm at 20 Sicily Circle. I need an ambulance. Our post office guy was just shot. I heard 4 shots, and he's down. There's a FedEx guy checking on him right now. He is breathing. Where is he bleeding from? He's bleeding out of his mouth. Did anyone witness this? I don't know if anybody saw exactly. We saw someone run. We heard 4 shots. Okay, what was that person wearing? A hoodie, blue mask. I couldn't identify him. I just saw a backside of a man running away after 4 shots. We have the police. I'm going to let you go.
Around lunchtime, neighbors reported hearing 5 rapid gunshots. Moments later, they discovered Jason lying in a pool of blood near his mail truck and a row of community mailboxes.
7219, we're at the corner of Heather Hill and Renaissance, and I'm out with Wheeler.
Copy, Heather Hill and Renaissance.
Go. Move up. Can I ask you to look out for the shooter and we'll take care of this?
That same afternoon, his 5-year-old son was picked up by the authorities from daycare. The boy's mother, 27-year-old Devin Schreiner, Jason's ex and fellow postal worker, learned from co-workers of what they believed was a tragic accident.
Hi, I was transferred to you. I've been getting a lot of calls from past coworkers saying that there may have been an accident with my son's father. I don't understand why nobody called me. You have my son?
Yep.
What is happening? Where is my son's father?
Well, that's what we need to talk about. Are you able to come down to the police department?
You have my son. Yes, of course I'm coming down there.
When Devin arrived at the police station looking for her 5-year-old son, she unknowingly triggered an interrogation. What followed was a series of shocking revelations.
I think they're going to bring him down this way. Okay, well, I need him to be here now. I saw my father's car outside, and I'm not really sure why he's here.
Your father's car?
Yeah.
Who's your dad?
His name is Raul.
Raul?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he not allowed to see your kiddo?
He's a registered offender, so he better not be around my kid.
Okay.
I'm not sure who's where, but he's safe right now.
Who is he with?
He's going to be with an officer right now, so.
Okay, because the previous officer that I spoke to on the phone said that he was with my sister, and she doesn't have custody of him either, because she's not his guardian.
Okay.
So I need to know where my kid is, and I need to know what's happening, because nobody's telling me anything.
Okay. Fair enough. I don't know what's happening either. I just got here as well. I was just told come walk you in, so I'm sure they're bringing somebody down. We're going to tell you what's going to happen. Do you want to take a seat for a second? You can stay standing if you'd like, but...
Officers were assigned to monitor Devin after she was asked to report to the station. Instead of rushing to see her son, she carried on with her usual errands. As officers watched from a distance, she appeared calm and carefree, showing no visible signs of concern. But the moment she parked at the station, her demeanor changed abruptly. She rushed inside and began to panic. Colorado Detective Steve Desmond then interrogates her.
All right. Thank you. Whoa. Mind if I shut the door for private?
I don't really care. I want my son. Where is my son?
I'll tell you everything. How about that? You're Devin?
Yes.
Am I pronouncing it right?
Yes.
I'm Steve. You can call me Steve. We gotta kind of step back here a little bit. I'm gonna tell you some bad news. Your ex-boyfriend, is it? Ex-husband?
I just call him my son's dad.
Son's dead.
We weren't ever married, but...
He died today.
What? How? What happened?
Someone shot him in the face.
In the face? Where?
On his postal route.
He was working today? He doesn't...
Yep. Yeah, he was working, and someone came up and shot him.
When did this happen?
At 12:32 today.
It is 6 o'clock.
Yeah, your son's dad died today, and so please typically look at the butler or the ex or someone who owes him a lot of money. So we want to at least ask you some questions about him, do our due diligence. I don't think he has a butler, so we got to rule the butler out. So we at least got to ask you some questions about how he died. Maybe you know something about it.
I was at work today.
Okay, perfect. You got a good excuse. Shouldn't be a big deal. But I want to ask you about it. I want to exonerate you if possible, and then move on to the next suspect. You know, do my job and see. You know, work. I mean, I'm sure you're concerned about his death, and you want it investigated fully. You don't want us to sweep anything under the rug.
No, of course not. But
And so I don't want to do anything because the case is so serious. I don't want to do anything to violate your rights. Anything like that. So everyone that
my rights and my son's rights were violated when you took him from school and did not contact me.
Devin's reaction to Jason's shooting is unnervingly cold, almost rehearsed. The detective uses a friendly, disarming tone, but Devin holds firm, repeating her work alibi to deflect suspicion. Devin grows frustrated when the department won't release her son after Jason's death, but the policy is clear. A surviving parent could be a suspect or too emotionally unstable to care for a grieving child. Until that's ruled out, social services takes temporary custody. As the questioning intensifies, the detective mentions a member of Devin's family, and her reaction is impossible to miss. The introduction of this mystery figure is about to turn the entire case on its head. The shooting was a close-range, targeted hit. A hooded suspect in a blue mask was spotted near the scene before and after the attack, making identification difficult. Surveillance footage shows the gunman firing at Jason and sprinting away. A forensic neuropsychologist later determined the murder was deeply personal and driven by revenge. Confronting Jason face-to-face showed a need for direct confrontation, and the careful timing, waiting until he was alone, pointed to a planned ambush. Jason and Devin, once co-workers at the Colorado Postal Service, had a son in 2015. Jason's early enthusiasm for family life faded when Devin refused to return to work, triggering constant conflict over responsibilities. Their opposing views on parenting and partnership eventually drove them apart. Now, Detective Steve Desmond is done beating around the bush. He's ready to confront Devin with the first of many pieces of damning evidence.
When we have a homicide, we have all of our property crime detectives go out. We have all of our person crime detectives go out. We have all of our undercover detectives go out. We have all of our gang and crime suppression units go out. We have a lot of people in this case, and we've worked the case quite a bit. I don't pretend to know everything that happened, but there are some things that are really kind of concerning me. We saw your car in the area of the crime scene. Your car was a Nissan Rogue that is missing a front passenger front hubcap. We got your car on a license plate reader a little while ago with your license plate, and it has that front passenger hubcap missing. Sure enough, in the videos around the crime scene, that car is there with that front passenger bumper or hubcap missing. You said you're at work today, but your scanner goes off before the homicide and turns back on well after the homicide, and they track your scanner that's used at work to your boyfriend's house, AJ. So that's really kind of concerning. And we caught the shooting on one of the Nest doorbell cameras from across the street. So I'm really kind of concerned. I know that you got served just the other day with the child custody order, and you're a little upset about that. You told AJ, you told Devin in the past that AJ knows where you live, and that he'll shoot you if he needs to.
I've told who?
You told that to Devin, and Devin told that
Well,
to Rose, your
Devin,
sister.
but
Yeah. Well,
I'm
he
a little
heard,
confused.
Jason heard that from you, and then Jason told Rose that, and Rose told us that. And this happened about a year ago.
That
AJ knows where you live, Jason, and AJ will shoot you, Jason. You said that.
I said that? I've never said that.
So why is your car in the crime scene area? Why are you in that area in your car, and why are you turning off your scanning?
I didn't turn off my scanner.
You did.
No, I did not
Postal inspectors are here.
turn off my scanner.
Or you didn't go with the scanner. The scanner's at your boyfriend's house, or somewhere in that area, in front of it, or in a bush somewhere in that area. It wasn't with you. Okay, they have a breadcrumb trail on GPS on your scanner.
Yes.
And the postal inspectors were here, and they said, before the homicide, you're not doing anything with the scanner. It's stationary for like 3 hours or more. And it should be mobile because you're working, but it's at your boyfriend's house. And why is your car in the crime scene area?
I don't.
We've got video of your car in the crime scene area.
I don't know why it would be on camera that my car was down there, but I don't.
Listen.
If I don't scan
packages,
then obviously I'm not doing that. But I did stop I did stop at his house for my lunch break, sort of.
Devin, I think you're a good person, but something's not right here. I think the gig is out. There's something weird going on here. Everything is pointing to you being involved in this shooting. People don't go around just shooting most of the people.
I mean, I work for the post office, and I have before, and I have been.
Supposedly you're on video 2 weeks ago breaking into the Longmont post office. That's a separate
Didn't break in. I work for the post office. I'm allowed to go in.
But who cares about that? That's just a stupid burglary.
Burglary?
Yeah. Let's talk about the homicide. Why are you? What's your involvement in this? Because I think there's a lot more than you're telling us. The video of the shooter looks kind of like you. It's from a distance, but it looks like your height and your build. It doesn't look like AJ's height and build. It doesn't look like Castaneda's height and build. It looks like your build with a black hoodie. Now, we're going to search your house. We're going to search your car. We're going to seize your car. We're going to do a gunshot residue test on you.
Sorry, go ahead.
So we're not going to leave any stone unturned, but we're going to get to the bottom of this. And this is your out to tell me what type of involvement you have, because it's very concerning. Your car being there, you turning your scanner, not bringing your scanner, and GPS not moving during the homicide.
Devin's black Nissan Rogue was spotted near the scene around the time of the shooting. Further investigation revealed that GPS data from her mail scanner showed the vehicle stationary for over an hour, contradicting her claim that she was actively working during the murder. At the time, Devin was now in a new relationship with Andrew Ritchie, known as AJ, a prison guard from Longmont. Surveillance footage revealed Andrew tailing Jason's mail truck for hours on the morning of the murder. He had cunningly used a vehicle from the prison guard program, hoping to stay under the radar. Meanwhile, Devin remains in denial, unaware the walls are closing in and the most intense confrontations are still to come.
So what's going on here? Are you behind this homicide? Is AJ behind the homicide? We got two different cars, it looks like.
Two different cars?
Yeah, it looks like there's a car leaving the scene of the crime. Maybe it's just a witness who saw the shooting and is getting out of there. Maybe it's the shooter. Well, we saw your car in there moments before the shooting. And there can't be that many Nissan Rogues that are 2017 that are missing the front passenger hubcap. So you're involved in this, okay? I want to know what your involvement is. Did a boyfriend try to tell you that he's going to take care of this? Were you involved in it? Because someone is there doing this. It's not a random shooting. And so the gig is up, okay?
I read on the way here about what happened, and they said that a man shot him.
That's what we originally thought, yeah. Now we're thinking it could be you. We're thinking it could be maybe your boyfriend. Thank you. That's not the question. That's not the right answer. We're trying
What
to put
am I
together,
supposed to
We're trying
say?
to get all this evidence together. We're trying to put the pieces together, and I don't think you're being truthful with me. And I want to know why your car's there, why you're not using the scanner, why the scanner was left there. It looks like you're involved in this. So tell me why you're not involved in this. I don't think this is a coincidence that your ex got shot in the face today. It looked like a hit. Looks like someone pulled up, ran out, shot him, ran back to the car, sped off, fired 5 times. He died right there. So I'm going to take this seriously, and I want to exonerate you to have nothing to do with this. I don't want to arrest you if you didn't do this. Does that make sense? I don't want to arrest anyone that didn't do a crime. But your car is there. Your car is there. You turned your scanner off. Your GPS, well, you didn't turn it off. We're not going to mince words. You left your scanner at your boyfriend's house. You said you were at work all day. You're not at work.
There's other things that I could have done. Why would I shoot him?
I don't know. I don't know why people ever shoot people. And I'm not saying you shot him. Maybe someone else shot him. Maybe people just lost their temper. Someone shot him. We know that. Someone shot him 5 times in the face. That's kind of a lot of hatred. They didn't steal anything from him. They didn't have any issue with him. There wasn't a traffic road rage case. Someone shot him because they were really upset with him. They shot him in cold blood. They shot him 5 times and let him bleed to death there. That's someone who knows this guy.
As detectives dug deeper to determine Andrew's connection to the crime, a stunning breakthrough emerged. Horrific text messages exchanged between him and Devon. Not only did the messages confirm their romantic relationship, but they also exposed a months-long plot to murder Jason. Text from as early as July 2021 revealed Andrew encouraging Devon to take violent action, with disturbing lines like, "You could just kill them both," and ending Rosa and Jason. At this point, detectives are convinced of Devon's involvement, but the question remained, just how deep is Andrew in this murderous scheme?
And understand that there's 70 postal inspectors in Longmont with the 12 or 14 detectives that they have. And we're talking to everybody. We've got Ring doorbell cameras. We've got cameras from banks. We've got cameras from traffic lights. We've got all this stuff going on. We've got your phone, her phone, Jason's phone, other text messages. It's really important at this point that you tell us the truth, everything that's happened.
I just did not
so,
the truth.
So explain this picture to me. Explain this picture right here in the middle. What's the conversation around that?
So that was the 3 days prior when she told me that she was going to go over there in the middle of the night. And I told her not to. Originally, her plan was she was going to take out Jason, Rosa, and herself. And I begged her not to. I obviously played on the don't take out yourself thing because I can't live without you. And I can't live without you. But I was successful in not getting her to do it that night. I don't know. Part of me felt like she would do it eventually, but part of me thought that maybe she wouldn't.
Did you ever think about calling the police? Saying, hey, this is what's going on?
She's been in this custody battle with him for 5 years, and it's not the first time. She's mentioned it multiple times over 5 years, but she's never done it. So, obviously it's a serious thing. It was also just kind of banter. Like, anytime she was mad at him, it was he needs to go. I need to do that. Usually play it off, or sometimes I play along a little bit. Like, yeah, he is. But I never thought that she'd actually do it. She's also told she's going to kill herself a million times. She won't put that up.
Okay. And then you never contacted. Did you talk to your buddies about it and Cougars, or none of those guys know?
No, they didn't even know I was having an affair.
Okay. Do they know your wife? So it was one of those things you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. So no, you never told anybody about it. Okay. And just kind of going back a little bit, you're following the carrier around and to warn him?
No, I'm following him around because I thought if I saw her, I would stop.
Stop her. Okay. Okay.
Andrew's plan unravels when detectives discover a 3-hour call between him and Devin on the morning of the murder, evidence of a coordinated plot. Andrew shadowed Jason's mail truck, giving Devin real-time updates, while Devin planted her work gear at Andrew's home to create a false alibi. With Andrew's interrogation complete, the spotlight shifts back to Devin. Although Detective Steve hits a wall with her, a post office investigator takes over, and what he uncovers reveals a chilling motive behind the murder.
Now, how did it make you feel to find out that the father of your child was shot in the face with a gun?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I'm very upset about it. I know that, like I said, I know that we've had our issues, but...
Okay. So if we don't talk about your car, do you want to continue this conversation, or are you done with the conversation?
There really
Don't
isn't
help
else
anymore?
to say. I've said my day. I've said what I needed to say. I don't see what other questions you would have.
Well, I'd like to know, who do you think would have done this to Jason?
I don't know who would have done this to Jason. I don't know his life anymore. I am no longer a part of it. He made that perfectly clear when he decided to, for a lack of better words, sleep with my sister.
So I didn't know that. Okay. Can I talk to you about that, or do you want an attorney?
There's nothing to hide with that either, so I will answer questions about that.
Okay. You're okay answering questions about your sister?
Yes.
Are they dating?
They are
Or
living
they're
together.
sleeping together?
They're definitely sleeping together in front of my son, which is how I found out. I'm a 5-year-old.
Okay. How old's your sister? Is she of age?
19. She
Really?
just turned 19.
Okay. How old are you?
26.
So this is your younger sister?
Yes, this is my baby sister.
Rosa Shore was dating Jason, a relationship that deeply unsettled Devin. Despite being involved with Andrew, she couldn't hide her bitterness over Jason and Rosa's growing bond. Devin's inability to accept Jason's relationship with Rosa was driven by a toxic mix of jealousy, greed, and resentment. Even as the evidence stacks up, Devin remains defiant. She refuses to confess and instead demands a lawyer. Detectives then question Rosa, and her account paints a horrifying picture.
And your sister, so I make sure I have all the names right. Your sister is Devin. Your current boyfriend is Jason. Right. Okay. I'm sorry. No, it's fine. Okay. And Jason's last name? Schaefer. SCHAEFER. Okay. So obviously a lot of different dynamics with this relationship. Just with Devin being your sister. Can you kind of walk me through, maybe by starting on how your and Devin's relationship was before you started the relationship with Jason? Complicated? I'm trying to think where to start because she hadn't been in our lives for 9 years. Do you remember what the main cause of their for good breakup was? I want to say it was cheating. I want to say that was the main. They struggled co-parenting after they for sure broke up. Okay. Almost last night to this morning, I just knew. I don't know why. I just knew, and even a few weeks before that, I was like, something is going to happen to him. And I don't know why. I was just like, I feel like Devin's going to be mad and she's going to try to do something. If I'm being honest, that's what I thought. Can you tell me more about what maybe made you think that? Because she's a horrible person. She's a horrible person, and she didn't like that. We were just trying to figure it out. like I said, his birthday or whatever. The fact, you know, I know the fact that he, like I said, that he's with me, that made her mad, and yeah. And ever since she went to the post office that day, and we'll figure out the day in just a minute here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, ever since then I was really, really worried, and I was like, and I told Jason, I was like, make sure you always lock the door to the apartment, make sure you lock it when you're there, make sure you lock it when you leave, just be careful. And even, I don't know why I thought of it too, like even a few days ago, I was like, I feel like someone's just watching us. I just felt like someone was watching us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I would look for her car, I would look for her boyfriend's car, because I know what both of their cars look like. Her boyfriend's cars.
A paper trail of the couple's long-standing conflicts stretches back several years. Just 2 days before the murder, Jason had filed court documents seeking to modify his parenting time. When the local postmaster arrived at the crime scene, his immediate reaction spoke volumes. Did the baby mama do it? Suspicion immediately fell on Devin amid known custody tensions. The final piece of the puzzle clicked into place when detectives uncovered a critical image saved on Andrew's phone. A Snapchat photo of the shooter taken just moments before Jason's death. The shooter's outfit perfectly matched what Devin was wearing that day, delivering the most damning evidence yet. With this discovery, detectives could finally connect Devin to Jason's murder and bring the case to a chilling close. Was Andrew telling the whole truth, or was he more deeply entangled in the crime than he let on? Devin and Andrew were both charged with first-degree murder. Overwhelming evidence of premeditation and coordinated planning led to their conviction. In the end, the court sentenced both Devin Schreiner and Andrew Ritchie to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
What's going on with you? I hear you got a problem.
I have had a problem for 7 years. I need her away, gone.
This is how Deputy Jason Ison came into the life of a woman named Tara Lambert. He approached her under the guise of a hitman, offering calm assurances. In truth, he was there to uncover a murder plot, listening closely and waiting for her to say just enough.
I mean, what do you want done with her?
Oh my god. Just put her in a chopper, like one of those lumberjack chopper things.
Deputy Jason had Tara apprehended, and she was brought in for an intense interrogation. The entire truth behind her disturbing plot was about to come to light.
You had talked to an undercover deputy sheriff today. Will you make arrangements and give him $125 to have her killed?
Deputy Jason became the center of the case when he learned of Tara's murder-for-hire scheme. He came to know about it through Jenny. She was Tara's friend, who was growing increasingly uneasy as Tara frantically searched for someone to carry out a killing. Acting on Jenny's report, he coordinated a controlled meeting for July 28, 2015 in the Circleville Walmart lot. Tara showed up. Believing her plan was advancing, little did she know that the plan was never hers, but Deputy Jason's.
This is Dee. This is Tara.
What's up, girl? How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thanks.
What's going on with you? I hear you got a problem.
I have had a problem for 7 years.
Really? 7?
Yeah, and it's gotten to the point where, I mean, she knows I've been wanting this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I need her away, gone.
Okay.
I'm communicative. So, okay, she lives in Lucasville.
Okay.
Okay, and it's on State Route 104, and there's nothing across the street. It's like woods and a river, right? And if you pull in this driveway, there's like a nice house to the right that's like brown and has a pool. And That is her mother-in-law. And then on down to the left, you can still see it plain as day from the driveway, but that is her trailer. So my thing is, like, it's gonna be weird if something happens to just her trailer when there's a nice house, like, right next door. If it's gonna happen at her house. You know?
Okay.
And then I want, whatever happens, or whenever it's gonna happen, I just want it on a weekend when the girls are with me, obviously. That helps my alibi and keeps them away from all that. Which is every other weekend.
This coming weekend?
Yes. Yes.
So then they'll be back down Lucasville the following.
Right. And then back up here. And we never miss a weekend, so
Okay.
if you start from this weekend, whatever weekend you want to do it. So, and I have her picture and some lovely information for you.
Okay.
I hate her. It feels so shitty, like when you can't get to your own money.
Right.
Like, what the? I could have, I could have got it out of my business, but it'd be really strange, and I wouldn't be able to account for it on the stuff.
You don't know what any of these. She drives the maroon van?
Or the black Saturn. He drives a red truck. Is there anything else, like, that you would need to know?
What'd you say about the house again?
So, like, in the driveway, it's kind of like a lane, I guess, more than a driveway, because, like, that's why her address is 12735A, because it's a trailer on this woman's land, which is her mother-in-law.
You don't want her with?
I mean, kind of, yeah. It would look better because, like, why would you go straight to that trailer when there's a badass house right here? You know what I mean? And nothing else around that area in the boondocks is touched. It would just kind of look
stupid.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
it would look pinpointed. And you never know what color her hair is, but she's the only mom.
Does she live with a dude?
Yeah, she's married. But he is like, he works all day and then he plays in a band and he's like constantly gone. I should have wrote that down. It's called Waiting on Aaron. I know, so dumb. But that's the band name. So
Waiting on what?
Aaron, Aaron.
Are they on Facebook?
Yeah, and he like has me blocked, I think, because he hates my guts and I hate him. So you would be able to see like their schedule. Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you want done with her?
Oh my god. Just put her in a chopper, like one of those lumberjack chopper things.
Well, it's carry a lumberjack chopper. But.
No, I'm just kidding. Like, that's how much I hate her, though.
Deputy Jason first found out Tara's desire to kill her target, Kelly Cook. Cook was married to a man named Sean and raising 2 teenage daughters from her previous marriage to Brandon, who was Tara's current husband. This was a situation fueled by a hostile custody battle over visitation. With the details secured, Jason set the trap. Tara was moving toward it without recognizing the danger closing in around her. As the conversation continues, she unknowingly begins to give away the very evidence that could be used against her.
So, I'll just walk straight up, shoot her in the grill. You said the dude is gone all the time. Do they have guns?
A lot. He does, but they're locked up in a safe and like covered with a bunch of like clothes and stuff. He can't get to that safe like fast. And with the kids in there, he always has it locked up. He would not be able to get to that, unlock it fast enough to come back out. He can go to it if you want. If he starts trouble or if he ends up being there. If the red truck is there, he's there.
So he
Although then again, the band comes in their van and picks him up, so I can't say that.
So if he's there, you want him to go too?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't mind.
I mean, it's your grand.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be easier for all of us to not us, but like me and my husband and everyone not to be pinpointed at all if he's gone, because no one else knows me. No one knows my business. They wouldn't be like, this has to do with Tara. This has to have to do with Tara. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you may be thinking 2 weeks?
Whenever.
2 to 4 weeks, we'll put it that way.
Whenever.
And then,
and I don't know how, but I can get you more cash before you even do it. Whatever you want. It's just today, card had my card, and I don't have time to go to Worthington and get that for you, so.
Alright.
I told him you're good.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, in more ways than one, I'll get it. I have it.
Alright. So here in a couple weeks, I'll probably slide back down here.
Okay.
Drop off a burner phone to her.
Okay.
And she'll give you the burner phone.
Okay.
I take it you want some type of proof that they got.
Of course. That's when the rest of your day will come. Which I will have as soon as I get the word.
Okay.
I'll have it ready, but I'll bring it as soon as I get the word. Whatever we gotta do to get it to you.
Alright.
Deputy Jason smartly gauges the depth of Tara's intent. She admits she has no issue if Brandon, her own husband, dies in the crossfire. She outlines the plan with chilling clarity. Shadow Kelly's grocery runs and school pickups using photos and car details, carry out a silent hit, then run the body through a wood chipper for total erasure. Unfortunately for Tara, none of this will happen. What will happen is that Jason will collect tapes, cash, and maps, assembling evidence that will bury her. In the next few moments, he secures her confidence in the plan, which exists solely to position her as a suspect in the eyes of the law.
So happy about this. I know that's so bad, but even my girls, I think if they could pay people to do this, they probably would. They hate her so bad. So don't feel bad about that.
I don't feel bad about it. None of it.
Good. That's really good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to know. She doesn't work, so she's home all day. She's a loser. Okay, baby. I don't know.
There you go.
Can you think of anything else that you would need to know? Which, of course, you can go through her to get to me or whatever, but...
Right. Alright, sound good?
Okay. So excited. Very, very good. You the man.
Alright, girl.
I really appreciate this. I owe you like everything.
Be easy.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much. Jenny? Yeah, love you. I love. Oh, goodness. Try to
She had despised Kelly since marrying Brandon and wanted full custody of her stepdaughters. Years of resentment had become an obsession. In Tara's mind, eliminating Kelly was the only solution. She was experiencing pure euphoria, as if Christmas had come early. However, Deputy Jason was already building her case file. He collected tapes, $125 in cash, photos, and her talk about using a wood chipper. After the July 28, 2015 Walmart meeting in Circleville, he turned the evidence over to Pickaway County detectives. Detective Ryan Mills then took control of the interrogation, and Tara was nowhere near ready for the reality checks that were about to shatter her delusions.
You had talked to an undercover deputy sheriff today when you make arrangements and give him $125 to have her killed.
No.
And it is on tape and on video.
No. Jenny. I have messages. I can show you where she
What's Jenny have to do with it?
She was with me. She was there.
Well, tell me, you're saying Jenny.
Jenny.
What did she do?
Okay. I can show you the phone calls. I can show you the messages where she is talking about how she can have Kelly beat up or something of the nature to scare her. And then she talks to this guy, and then I can show you the messages that she says, you can't back out of this, you need to bring some money, this guy is no joke, da-da-da-da-da, you need to go to the bank, how much can you bring right now? And I'm like, what am I supposed to do, like, if this guy's a killer?
you know, he's going to beat her. What is he going to do to me if I don't follow through with beating her up?
How does Jenny know her?
I mean, just a lot of people know her.
Jenny don't have anything to do with her, does she?
She's the one that wants to help her get her ass beat.
No.
Yes.
You're the one that wants to have her killed.
I don't want her killed.
Well,
I want her beat up. He said he was going to punch her in the grill.
Tara, there is, those phone calls that you talked to her about was recorded.
What?
Yes, they are recorded. And it's you that wanted to have her killed. And yes, at first, there is where you talked about, well, if I want to hurt, I want to permanently hurt. Do you remember saying that?
No.
Well, I can play it for you. But you said it. And then you said, well, you know, is it going to cost more to go to make it look like an accident? You remember saying that?
No, she said that they could make it look like an accident. She was like selling it. Like, we can make it look like an accident. It could be
when they do it, I want the girls. I don't want the girls to be there when
because they were going to make a robbery look bad or something.
Yeah.
No killing.
But was that your request? Why did you give them the money to do it then?
Because she's like, you better get this money today. He's coming here. He said he can't come down here. If he comes down here and he wastes his time, blah, 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 blah.
It wasn't like all that.
Yes.
It's recorded.
She said, you have to come up with something right now.
Everything that you talked about is recorded.
She said, you have to come up with something right now.
What did you tell her? That you would get the money, you would bring it to her, right?
I said, I don't know how to get you more money.
No, I'm talking about
yesterday. Yesterday.
Yeah. You said, well, I can get $500.
No, she asked me if I can get $500.
Yeah.
And I said, maybe.
Well, it all started out was that you were asking her, how much would this cost to do it, all this. Do you remember saying that?
That is not how that started.
It didn't?
No. No.
In the first phone conversation?
No. She is the one that called. I can show you where she's like, you need to delete this conversation. Because she's the one that called.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Detective Ryan Mills bears down on Tara, blocking every escape route she tries to create. It becomes clear that Tara wanted to do much more with Kelly than just get her beaten up. Mills now has all the evidence stacked against her thanks to Deputy Jason. He's about to corner Tara from every angle, exposing her elaborate plan in spectacular fashion.
You did talk about having her killed, right?
No, I mean, it came up, but I don't want her dead. It came up, yes.
And you talked about it.
And I said, I just want her to leave me alone, blah, 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 blah. And then he said, all right, I'm going to go in. And I even said, Jenny, didn't you say that this is going to be a robbery gone bad? And she was like, yeah. Because she said that that's what she discussed with him. That was like their plan. And I was like, okay. I mean, it just, and then to his face, he says, I'm going to deck her in the grill and leave. I don't care about her. And then he asked about Sean. I told him how to know if he's there, but I don't care about him. Like, I don't need him hit or whatever. And I told him about the gun.
What about Brandon? Does he know this
Not at all.
was going?
He knows that I want her whooped. I mean,
okay.
But he has no idea I've like talked to someone about it.
Did you and Brandon talk about it?
No.
A whole long time ago?
No.
I mean, you indicated.
He wanted me to do it.
Brandon wanted you to kill her?
No. Just to whoop her.
Okay.
Yes. He's like, you should have whooped her a long time ago. He hated that we got along at all, ever. And we got along for like 8 years. Really well.
Okay.
I don't hate her. And we have an appointment
I
to
don't understand that because you did.
I want her to stop.
You indicated that you hated her on when you were talking in the conversations.
I don't, though. I don't.
You don't mean that now. You mean.
I don't hate her. And that's why we are about to go to counseling, like,
Right.
in a couple, I mean.
You did hate her. And
I hate her when
you talked
she does
about
this stuff.
having her killed.
But I
That
didn't,
came up.
that
You
wasn't
talked
the
about it.
agreement.
Okay.
It was to deck her in the grill.
Okay.
That is a punch in the mouth, in the face.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, I guess the tapes will speak for themselves.
Yeah, he's gonna deck her in the grill.
Okay.
And do like fake robbery for like $1,000.
How much did you give him today?
$100, I think.
100 or 125?
I think 120, I think.
Okay.
But I gave him a 5.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm asking you.
Maybe it was. I don't know. 120.
What about, how much do you owe him after that?
He said 900.
Okay.
But then he was like, well, this is your $1,000. And that's when he was asking, you know, he said, all I am going to do is deck her in the grill and leave. And then he said, or then we talked about like her belongings or whatever.
Okay.
And then he said, well, what about her dude? And I said, I don't really care about him. And then he asked if I wanted like the in-laws messed with. And I said, well, I don't know, it's going to look really weird that you go to a trailer and rob them and not touch, you know, the nice house. So I don't know what you're going to do about that. That was it. No murder. The word murder.
It had came up. You had talked about it.
It was not agreed.
Okay. You had talked about it, correct?
I just wanted her punch in the face.
Tara was very confident despite knowing that Detective Mills had the entire footage of her with the fake hitman. She's telling the truth, but she's also conveniently twisting the narrative to make it sound like she only wanted Kelly beaten up. She may not have used the word murder, but she did say she wanted her gone, which in any book means the same thing. Up next, she'll try to villainize Kelly and cook up ridiculous justifications for having her attacked, although none of this can save her now.
But it's really been about the year that, I mean, she's been making Vernon miserable for 15 years. But that was not the final verdict for me. And I swear on that. I don't know. I'm sure you guys hear all that all the time, but I promise. And I will swear on the Bible, whatever you want.
Well, it is what it is, and we can't change it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And I will admit it. I'll tell the judge right now. I wanted her whooped. Everyone knows that. Everyone that knows me knows I want her whooped. But I can't do it. And then in that message that you just showed me, where I said our problem, it's because she called her. And that honestly is what made it all worse, and I regretted that. Even telling Jenny about her pissing me off and her calling her.
But after that phone call was made, then you came in, and what did you say in the report that you made?
Because listen, I told Jenny about it the day it happened. The day she wrote this thing. My attorney got an email from Rose, from Kelly, which was a copy of a police report, okay?
Okay.
Against me. Mm-hmm. Okay. I immediately, all right, the whole stuff about the day before when she was doing the text apps and all that stuff and saying, I don't even remember everything, it was like a year ago, but I did tell Jenny when I saw her. It was like, hey, how you doing? Well, I'm going crazy because of this girl, you know? Told her about the text app, blah, 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 blah. Well, then she was like, well, she needs someone to call her. And I was like, oh, of course. Like right then, I'm thinking, yeah, if someone calls her, she's such a chicken shit, it will scare her. So yeah, I did. But she didn't do it till the next day. And I even said, did you call her? And she said no. said, delete this message. Made my police report. That, and then, you know, I don't know what she said. She didn't even tell me that. Maybe she did tell me some. But the police report was more than just what this phone call was.
Right.
And that's why in my report you'll see where I talk about Sean threatening me, about her driving by my house, about her, I'm kind of racist a little bit. I was kind of raised that way, sort of. I mean, I'm just telling you because you'll see it. In my police report, I even say that she brought here to Pickaway County Sheriff's Office where we had to meet because she was going crazy. And I made it so that there was cameras and everything around, especially after her husband just said that to me. She brought and I'm almost positive that I wrote this. She brought to threaten me in this parking lot on tape. And she threatened me in this parking lot with the girls with her. And then they kept driving by my house.
Do you know who she brought with her?
Yeah, I do.
Who?
It is Aspen, the oldest. I found this out later. Aspen is the oldest daughter, and it was her now ex-boyfriend's mom. Her adopted mom or some kind of mother. And it's Kelly's friend. I have her name written down somewhere, but she looked over, she leaned, and as soon as Kelly pulled up this way...
So it was a female that threatened you?
Well, and Sean had already done it.
Yeah.
Like, literally that same weekend.
Okay.
But we pull up, Kelly pulls up in her van, and as soon as she pulls up, she goes like this. Because she already knows that this chick is going to sit up and talk to me through our windows being down. And she was like, you're she said, see, I'm thinking of Sean. I wrote it down. She said something about, you're going to learn to shut your mouth, or you're going to learn something. And, I mean, I was feisty right back, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who are you? You don't worry about it. And we just kind of went back and forth, and she was like, I'll see you soon. That's the part that I remember the most. I'll see you soon. Bang on it. What the fuck?
In most cases, detectives need a clear motive when they don't have a confession to lean on. But here, everything is laid bare. Tara's festering hatred over Kelly, fueled by years of custody drama, jealousy, and control issues, oozes from every word on those recordings. Detective Mills doesn't need to drag this out. He has her intent, her plan, her payment, and her target all nailed down. Now, it's only about making sure she pays for an attempted murder that only failed because two cops were sharp enough to spot the storm coming and shut it down. After a swift trial in the Pickaway County Common Pleas Court in Circleville, Ohio, Tara Lambert was convicted on February 24, 2016, of conspiracy to commit aggravated murder. She was sentenced to 7 years in prison and fined $10,000. However, her conviction was overturned on appeal in 2017. On July 10, 2018, she repleaded guilty and received a 5-year sentence with credit for time served. A life was saved thanks to the vigilance of Deputy Jason Ison. Centerville firefighters are dispatched to a scene of unimaginable horror after responding to a disturbing 911 call.
Hey, this is Roger. There's I think a house fire at 828 South Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can see the flames?
There's smoke coming out of an open window and nobody's home.
Inside the house, reduced to ashes, they stumble upon a disturbing sight. They discover a male body, burned to death, identified as Timothy Passa.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
While the news shocked many, his wife, Barbara Passa, was calm, sharing statements that gave the case a troubling turn.
Make sure that there's not any other system failures or something like that in his body. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think this was a heart attack or a stroke or anything like that. I just don't think that's going to be the fact.
Are you arresting me today?
Beneath Barbara's facade of innocence, detectives would soon uncover a twisted plot behind Timothy's death, a calculated move executed with a futile purpose.
We know that this happened.
Okay, so then you've made up your minds, kind of thing.
Barbara worked as a nurse at Mercy One Centerville Medical Center and had been married to Timothy for about 18 years. The couple seemed to be living a happy life with their 2 children, but little did they know their small world would soon come crumbling into ashes. On May 5th, 2018, Barbara and her children left the house around 7 a.m. to attend a soccer tournament, leaving Timothy asleep. After a while, she received a call from an officer informing her of the horrific incident that had unfolded. When Barbara arrived at the scene, detectives noticed her calm, composed demeanor stood in stark contrast to what they would expect from a grieving wife. However, this is not the only unsettling observation they made. As Barbara is brought in for questioning, each answer begins to expose the darkness lurking beneath a seemingly perfect family.
How was things going for him at work and at home?
Well, he was really stressed at work. At home, we've been married 18 years. Just kind of getting different. We had different interests, and I had been doing different stuff, and he was playing with the band again, and we were just kind of in a lull, just kind of hovering.
Right. Yeah, I just had my 16th anniversary, so I kind of know that you kind of have those ups and downs.
Yeah.
And, I mean, were you guys just like still together, or were you guys thinking about going your separate ways, or?
I get.
You always wonder. You kind of sometimes you stick together for the
fight,
kids.
and I just want to know that every time, not just this year, other years when we'd fight, I tell him to leave, but he wouldn't leave his kids. I don't know that we were super strong and lovey-dovey, but we're still together.
Okay.
I'm not sure that happy would describe our relationship, but not unhappy.
Yeah.
We just kind of existed together.
You think your last major argument was a couple weeks before?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably over finances. I don't know. That kind of always stressed us out.
Right. Is that what you kept saying? It maybe stressed because from work, or was it mainly the finances?
Probably a combination of both.
Did you catch up with the bus? Did you see anybody?
No.
How far did you get? You said you didn't notice any phone calls?
Well, I was north of court, and I finally got a ding.
Was that somebody telling you that there was an issue at your house, or?
My first one was Kate. She had screenshotted a Facebook thing from Shelby that her house was on fire.
Okay. What did you do next then after you saw that?
Well, I pulled over and tried to make some phone calls. I think I tried to talk to her, and our phone got cut off. Kind of a blur. Because I didn't know, should I go get my kids? Because they were freaking out, I didn't know what to do. My first instinct is to protect my kids.
What were you told on the phone then?
That my house was on fire, and Beth Ann asked me, where we were at, because she didn't know. And I remember squealing out, Tim was in the house.
Did you ever try to call Tim?
No.
You know if anybody did?
I know when I didn't answer for my mom, she did. Because if she can't get a hold of me, she'll call Tim. And he didn't answer, so she was freaking out.
Anyone struck with such a tragedy would be utterly devastated. Yet Barbara displays an astounding calmness. Soon enough, the secret behind her composure would eventually come to light. During the investigation, neighbors told detectives that the couple appeared to live a perfect life. However, Barbara's statement reveals the dark reality behind the surface. Despite pretending a luxurious lifestyle, the family had been experiencing severe financial crises. This included overdue mortgage payments. This unsettling detail just scratched the surface. Detectives would soon uncover other incriminating evidence that would ultimately tear apart Barbara's facade of innocence.
I don't know if anybody else did or not.
And then, what did you do next?
Well, I finally figured out that I should turn around, and so I flew back. I guess I just assumed Tim was mobile and moving.
And then I guess you got back. What did you see? You got home.
I think I either got a text or a call from Owen, and the neighbor kid had told him that he knew somebody was in the ambulance. So maybe that's when I tried to call Beth Ann again. And she told me I just needed to come to the house. She wouldn't tell me anything. And so when I pulled up, I parked, and I could tell by the look on Wayne Dublin's face. For sure.
And that's a lot to take in. What do you think maybe happened?
I don't know. I know that Mike was nice enough to fulfill my wish, well, not wish, my request to see him. And I hope to God he wasn't alive when that happened to him. You know, I don't know what happened. Tim's my husband. I can't say we were madly in love, but I loved him. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. You know, not knowing. Just, it's crazy.
So, you know, we need to look at all those aspects, but, you know, at the same time, we want to give individuals the opportunity if they maybe saw or heard something to help us with the investigation too, because, you know, we're going to put things together and it's going to come out, and we want to make sure that we have full understanding. You know, I don't want to jump to conclusions.
So you're considering me a suspect?
We're just trying to figure out what happened. I mean, what would make you think that?
I don't know. I have never been through this process before. I don't know. I know you have to look at everybody. You know, if that's what you're thinking. I don't know.
Yeah, and Barbara, I've been doing this kind of like a long time. You know, and we're good at what we do, and that's why we come down here. And I think most families appreciate that, right? 'Cause they want to know.
I'm just.
But I'm also a realist, you know. So I look at things and I prepare myself for if things come back different. Like, is there another explanation that I'm missing? You know, sometimes the facts come together in a case and they point in one direction, and you know, black and white, it might look like this, but there might be more of the story. And that's my job, is to talk with people,
right?
You know, to kind of get a better understanding. Because I'm going to hear that maybe your relationship wasn't that well with him. And people are going to say that. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't fight in public. We just, Tim, I'm more social for people that I like. Where Tim was just, you know, if you went up and talked to him on the fence, he'd talk to you.
Finances were a little tough.
Yeah.
You know, they definitely were. Looked like maybe you're behind a little bit on your house.
Well, we refinanced. We had been like 6 months behind. So we did a loan program. So we had gotten that back on track.
Do you guys have life insurance?
Yes, and I just had upped his policy.
Okay.
Mine, I'm kind of aware with my diabetes. I think there's $100,000 on me, plus I have 2 years of my salary. And I think at Alliant, his was just a year and a half. And so with their increments, we looked at going up more, but they'll only allow you to go up $25,000. So I had upped him through mine, and he'd gotten approved.
Okay.
And that was just something that we had talked about, because his brother died younger. And I really thought I had more on Tim before, but, you know, had missed this process. But, you know, we wanted to make sure our house, you know, things were taken care of.
My goal here is that I prepare myself for what I think that maybe information is going to come out from the autopsy or from the fire investigation that's not going to maybe correlate with the information you're giving us. And the reason I say that is I want to be able to talk about that a little bit, because I can understand stressors at home, and I talk with people, and I talk about relationships that you try for years to make right, and sometimes they don't get right, and no matter what you do, there's no good out. And then you add finances on top of that, there's a lot of stress going on. Wouldn't be the first person I talk to that is one of those tipping points for a relationship, because I don't think the candle started the fire. I don't think that happened. And I think that you're right, the neighbors kind of were outside. I think that we want to kind of talk about maybe the timing of when the fire started. And then I'm worried what the doctors are going to find at the autopsy. I think maybe you talk with some of the first responders about maybe not even wanting an autopsy done.
No, because that whole, not because I don't want to know what happened, because, Mike and I had that conversation, and it was to Mike. Mm-hmm. The whole cutting and pulling everything out, even in that shape, just...
Mm-hmm. And I just got to look at the totality of all that information and try to figure out what's going on and if there's other explanations for it. Because what I think is that maybe we're not being completely truthful about maybe the interactions in the morning. I think just talking here a little bit, we've had a little bit of inconsistencies on our conversation. So, that's my job, is I'm a fact finder. My concern is that there's going to be facts that come up that are suspect of something else happening. You indicate that you lit a candle, and if the fire guys end up saying fire wasn't started by a candle, and I can't find any other reason for it, I need to figure out what would happen and why would a fire start in this room? Make sure that there's not any other system failures or something like that in his body. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think this was a heart attack or a stroke or anything like that. I just don't think that's going to be the fact. I think we're going to find some things that the autopsy is going to say he didn't die of the fire. I think there's going to be, the fire guys are going to tell us that the fire didn't start by the candle. And it's going to leave Mike and I to sit here and say, okay, maybe this was planned and something that Barbara thought about for a long time, or maybe it was one of those things where I just can't take life anymore. And it's the only thing I thought I could do to keep my family and keep Owen and Kate with me.
In the course of the investigation, detectives noticed an alarming detail. They discovered that the smoke detectors in the house were disabled. Barbara responds by claiming that Timothy had removed the batteries the previous night after she burned food while cooking. She further asserts that she lit a candle to mask the odor of dog urine, which may have accidentally caused the fire. Back at the crime scene, fire investigators found the candle laying on the left side of the floor. However, its bottom shows no signs of fire damage, indicating it had been placed after the fire started. With the mounting evidence, detectives grow certain of Barbara's concealment of the truth. Despite their assertion about the autopsy, she clings to her narrative, unaware that it will eventually become the very thing to turn the tables against her.
What do you think is going to happen when the medical examiner calls me up? Because I don't even need to wait for his call today to know that he's going to tell me there's some concerns here with his body.
I don't know. Tim was in bed when I left.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think that that's going to be possible, that when you left that Tim was alive.
He was snoring.
And I think that the medical examiners might differ to that. But I'm telling you right now that nobody in this room believes that that's the true story. I think we're leaving some things out, because I see some pretty bad stuff, right? And I can go to bed and think that the worst, that Barb just wanted the money because she wanted her kids are almost out of school, she didn't have anything to do with them, she just wanted the money to live her life that she didn't get, right? Those are the things that come out. When I look at you, I see a mom that's worked all her years trying to put a good house before her kids. I see the bills coming up. I see Tim saying that he wants a divorce and he's going to leave you. Maybe the kids wanting to go with him, and you're losing everything that you worked so hard for, and your life come crumbling down. And I think you're looking for an out. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what it was, Barb. I think it was an out, and I think we'll find out what happened to Tim medically, and I think we'll find out that the fire was set afterwards to cover that up. Tim might have been quiet towards you, but he wasn't quiet to other people about his relationship problems. He talked about the issues you guys had going on, and I put it with the facts that I see at the scene and the facts that I see at the autopsy. I'm going to have to add all that up and see what it looks like. It's heavily weighted that you're at fault here. We all know that. I just don't want to get the wrong assumption. I want to get the true story out there, that this wasn't because you were angry at Tim. This wasn't because you were upset. I want to hear that this was done for the reason that you think they were. And I think I know. I think it's for your children. I think you really thought this was the best thing to be able to get them money that you need to survive, keep the house, keep the kids. You guys were going to get separated anyhow, Barb. You know that was coming.
We had lived in this kind of relationship probably for the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. Just existing.
Mm-hmm. And that's not a good place.
No, it's not.
Did you
We
want a
always have
divorce
been.
and couldn't afford to get divorced? Is that a problem? That was a conversation I'm sure you had.
Right, and I had that conversation with my two close friends. You know, financially we couldn't separate. Financially, you know, what would we do with the house? I could afford bills, but I couldn't afford for the kids to have their home, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we just existed that way, and that's the way we were.
Mm-hmm. And without Tim's money coming in, you wouldn't be able to exist by yourself, right?
Right. But like I said, every time that we had gotten to that point, you know, I'm like, why don't you just leave?
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave his kids.
Mm-hmm. In fact, he wanted to keep his kids.
Right.
Yeah, and maybe he was even trying to get Owen on his side.
And I told Owen that day that when he said, Mom, why don't you two just, would you be happier separated? I said, Owen, honestly, I have stayed this long because I wasn't sure you would go with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was closer to his dad. Because his dad was the easygoing one, and I'm the one yelled to clean your room, to do
But you're
this.
also the one that goes to all the tournaments, and you
Right.
get his laundry done, and you get all that.
Well, Tim did laundry most days.
Mm-hmm. And I get that. So at the same time, you're dealing with that struggle of I've given so much over the years for you, and now Dad, just because you want to be buddies, are politicking against you, trying to separate the family. Mike and I understand that. I can understand where things get out of control. I just don't. Help me understand how it got to this point.
It didn't get to this point.
The evidence is going to show that. We're going to track all that back, and it's going to prove that something
The
happened.
only thing you're going to prove is I didn't go through cord and I cut through Russell.
Why wouldn't you tell me that?
I told him that Saturday. But I don't know.
Help me understand
I
that.
cut through there so I could drive faster because I was running behind. I don't exactly know what time I left town. But I stopped and got $200 out of the farmer's bank. I didn't do anything.
You started the fire.
No, I
In the
didn't.
house.
I set the candle there.
And the candle didn't start the fire.
Then I don't know.
Barb, look at it from our standpoint.
I know
right?
that.
Right, the fire starts moments after you're gone. Your neighbors are over there trying to pound on the window. Tim's not responsive. Your dog still lives, but Tim doesn't.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know why the dog lived. I don't know why this happened.
Right? And I think, on the inside, I think you do. I want to be able to put your story out there, Barb. I want people to understand what happened.
I'm not going to sit here and say I killed my husband. Just because I might be off 5 or 10 minutes or whatever. I did not.
I have some strong concerns about the stories that you've given because they've changed. I think when it comes out that the fire started and you leave and you drive away, maybe you weren't, why those neighbors have to be outside? Because you didn't leave at 6:50, you left at 7:15. You get the phone calls. I think everybody's calling you and I think you're scared to answer.
No, I wasn't. My phone was not working. I got text or voicemails today from Saturday because in the night I did some kind of update.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, how did I miss 7 voicemails? And they're from like Saturday.
As detectives question Barbara's friends, a clear motive emerges. The marriage was collapsing, and just weeks before Timothy's death, her resentment had reached a breaking point. Additionally, her phone records also showed that she had ignored multiple calls from neighbors who were alerting her about the fire, but she still delayed contacting emergency services. Even as detectives corner Barbara with incriminating evidence, she continues to lie her way out of the situation. However, the shocking details detectives uncovered next would ultimately lead her down a path behind bars.
I think in your mind you were truly trying to do what you thought was best. But help us understand that.
I don't know what there is to understand. Are you arresting me today?
I'm here to listen to you, Barb.
I don't know what you want me to tell you.
That's what I'm here to do today. I'm here to tell you that I have talked with people like you before that have been in situations like this, that when they're pushed up against the wall and things didn't work out like they had planned, I try to talk with them to figure out why. I know how it happened. I know when it happened. I'm pretty sure I'm going to know exactly where and what time it happened. That's going to come out. I'm going to have all those facts, but one piece I'm going to miss is the why, Barb. And that's what everybody's going to want to know. Why did this happen? I want to be here to be able to write that into the story for you, Barb. I don't want to just use the who, what, when, and where. I want to know why things happen. That's important to me. It's not necessary. We could go forward with our case with the evidence we have, and it looks pretty damning. I think things add up. And as human beings, we can only take so much. And then we have to go into what can I do to keep some sense of normalcy? How can I keep my house? How can I keep my kids? And then we have choices to make. Help me understand how we got to where we did. Barbie, you shake your head, but you know I'm right. What was the breaking point for you?
I don't have anything to say. I didn't have a breaking point.
You understand where I'm coming from?
I do.
Right? You understand how it looks and what's going to happen. You understand. You watch the TV shows. You're in the medical field. You know they're going to be able to do toxicology and figure out what happened with him. That's going to come back on you. The fire didn't destroy his body. That's going to come back to you. And then it's just going to be evidence.
I don't understand. So I
Well, then take me through it. What led up to that decision? Because we know...
There was no decision.
He didn't die on his own, Barb. Something happened that morning for you to decide that today is the day. I don't know if it was the timing of the school, him not wanting to go with you.
No.
If it was just the opportunity.
No. I may be unhappy and depressed with life, but no.
And we're past that. But no, Mike and I are telling you that we're way past on whether this happened by you, Barb, or not. We know that this happened.
Okay, so then you've made up your minds. Can I leave?
You're free to leave. It's not going to change things, though,
I
Barb.
know. It'll just prolong it to another day.
What's going to happen?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
What am I supposed to tell Owen? What do you ask me?
I don't know.
What am I supposed to tell his sisters?
I don't.
What happens when it comes back that maybe is poison?
I don't know. Obviously, you have any answers, and I don't.
Despite Barbara's attempts to save herself, the autopsy revealed disturbing findings that eventually sealed her fate. It revealed a negligible amount of carbon monoxide in Timothy's blood and no smoke in his lungs, indicating that he had died before the fire broke out. The cause of death was respiratory failure, cardiac arrest, or a fatal drop in blood pressure, each traced back to the propofol present in his system. Investigators found Barbara had access to surgical anesthetics, including propofol, which led them to rule the death a homicide. Furthermore, witness testimony and ATM footage also contradicted her alibi about the timeline. Detectives believed Barbara's motive behind the vicious crime was to avoid divorce, collect the insurance amount, and eventually get rid of the impending debts. On May 18, 2018, Barbara Passa was charged with first-degree murder and first-degree arson. In September 2019, Barbara was found guilty on both charges. 2 months later, she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole and an additional 20 years for arson.
What's that?
There's a gun in here.
Nuh-uh.
Yep.
Oh, that's it. Copy.
I don't know. Oh! I'm pissed off!
Bonita Tracy Ann Wright's unexpected arrest isn't the beginning of this story, but it quickly rewinds months back to the horrific crime that set everything in motion.
Me and my boyfriend got into it last night, and I just woke up this morning, and he's laying by the front door, but he's not moving. I tapped him or whatever, and he was like, "Argh."
Just hours after discovering her fiancé, Kieran Ficklin, fatally stabbed, Bonita Tracy Ann Wright responded in a manner that defied expectation.
I've never seen his eyes that big or the veins popping out.
No matter how hard Bonita tried, the secrets she believed were buried deep down eventually began to surface.
Where was he?
He was just downstairs.
Where at?
In the living room.
There's no blood. That's the problem.
It all started with a disturbing 911 call made by Bonita on the morning of August 31st, 2022. When the officers arrived at the scene, they discovered Kieran in a pool of blood, pronouncing him dead at the scene. However, what immediately struck the detectives as unusual was the condition of his body. It appeared to have been there for several hours, contradicting Bonita's account of events. At the moment, the only potential suspect in the room was Bonita. In an attempt to understand what truly led to Kieran's tragic death, Bonita is taken into custody and escorted to the station for questioning.
Why? Why? Because you just that mad? You just that mad you want to lay there and not say nothing? And not tell me what's going on? You know my mom don't care about me, my dad don't care about me. You know this. You know everything. You know.
Alright. Do you need toilet tissue or anything? Alright, so I'm Detective Casper. This is Detective Reader.
Hey.
Alright. So, I want to get you out of here as soon as possible, okay? I'm sure you don't want to be here.
Bonita, what happened to your hair?
I put it out. I don't.
So, I want to talk to you about everything that's going on, okay?
Yes.
But before I do that, I have to read you your rights. That does not mean that you were in trouble, okay? It's just policy that you're at the police department, alright? So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. You have the right to an attorney and have one present during any questioning. If you can't afford one, will be appointed to you, and you can exercise these rights at any time. Do you understand? Okay. Now listen to me, that does not mean you're in trouble, okay? It's just part of our policy.
I know how the law works. If they're determined that I did something, that's what it's going to be. But I know I didn't do nothing to harm me. I just wish he would have said something.
So explain that to me a little bit. What walk me through what happened last night. I know that we were called last night for something.
We got into it. We was already... somebody told me he was cheating on me.
Okay.
So I let it be there. I said what I said. So we was not talking the whole day because he was upset about me saying that he was cheating on me.
Okay.
And I went to my sister's house. I was drinking. My neighbor came over. We was all taking shots. And when I got home, I don't even remember coming home. But I know we had to have words because...
Was he there already?
Yes, he was already there.
Does he have a key?
I gave him. I dropped the key off to his friend's house. He went to his friend's house earlier yesterday.
Okay.
So I drove to his friend's house and I dropped the key off to him. So we had to have words because it went from his stuff being where it was to his stuff being in his suitcases.
Okay. Like he was packing to leave.
Yeah, or either I was packing his stuff to leave, and then the police got called.
Okay.
So when I was trying to talk to them, he was telling them like, yeah, take her to jail. She doing this, she doing that. She all, belligerent or whatever because I was drinking. So I closed the door. I'm like, I'm not going nowhere because I live here. I pay bills here. Like, you my boyfriend. Yes, you my boyfriend, and I asked you to be, in my household or whatever. So that was that.
What time was that about?
I probably got home around like maybe 12 or 1, something in between that time.
Did you actually talk to the officers last night?
Yeah, I remember talking to them. I had a few words with them, but like I said, I was drinking, so I wasn't trying to talk to nobody.
Sure, I understand.
And I don't know. It just went blank, like. So
you pretty much said, hey, I want him out of here for the night.
Yeah.
And obviously they can't do that because he technically lives there. So
that was that. And I remember getting into an altercation with him and the table. He kept saying, oh, you want to throw my shit out? I'm about to break everything in your house. And I was trying to fight, stop him from breaking everything. So we got into an altercation. That's how the table broke, then the glass broke. And,
the mirror, maybe?
The mirror or whatever. And I don't know if he grabbed the knife first and if I took it from him, but
I just know that I'm a woman and you a man, and you're not about to do that to me.
What was? You know, you said it was physical. Was he like pushing you? Was he
Yeah,
shoving you?
like I know my lip is swole. Like when this started, my lip is swole.
You got a big cut out,
and then my cut and stuff like that, and it's just like, okay, I'm going to defend myself. Period.
Sure.
That's what it's gonna be. But I remember him getting the first aid kits and like, babe, you know, just bandage yourself up. You bleeding everywhere. This, that. And I went upstairs and I went to bed.
So he actually got you with the knife?
Supposedly. Like,
do you remember that?
I remember him going, you know, and grabbing a knife. I remember that. And
what did the knife look like? Do you remember?
I got several knives. So
was it like a pocket knife?
It was
a sword?
A steak knife.
A steak knife.
Yeah. Okay. And I remember me grabbing another one and trying to like, but he's a man. He's gonna overpower me. And that one, like the handle and stuff broke off. Like it's not even with a handle on it anymore. It's just a knife.
Just a blade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know.
From the beginning, Bonita appears defensive, expressing no concern over Kieran's death, but instead being more worried about protecting her reputation. Her account not only exposes their troubled relationship, but also reveals that they had been in frequent physical altercations. As the plot gradually unravels, detectives stumble upon unsettling truths that expose a complex web of deception, ultimately shattering confidence in Bonita's claim of innocence.
So I'm gonna make sure I get all this right. So last night, you get word that he's cheating on you, potentially.
That was weeks ago.
Okay. But last night, did you catch him with somebody else?
No, it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. That was filmed from a couple days ago.
So it kind of just
like
boiled
day before
over.
Yesterday. Yeah, it boiled over. Like he was still mad about it.
Okay. So you go over to your sister's, you're drinking, you come home, he's there. Well, you drop the key off to his buddy. You guys get to arguing, the police get called. Obviously, there's nothing we can do. We can't kick him out. You're not going to leave it to your house. After that, it gets physical. At some point, he grabs a knife, you grab a knife, you guys get to tussling or whatever. It's a fight. You fall a couple times in the living room, on the mirror, the table breaks. Now, does he purposely break your stuff at any point?
Yeah, like for the table, he grabbed it.
Is it a glass table?
Yeah.
Okay.
And was like, his whole thing was, like I said before, you keep throwing my outside, I'm about to break everything in your house. So that's how the table got broke.
Okay.
And then I'm just like, so the couch is up because now at that point, I'm just trying to toss all my stuff to the side so he won't break it.
Sure. Understandable.
So.
Alright, so you guys are both holding knives at some point, you're fighting. You guys fall a bunch of times.
Yeah, but then mine is, like I said, mine is broken. Like, cause he, you know, he's a man. So I didn't have mine long.
Okay. Do you ever feel him stab you?
I mean, I at the moment when you're adrenaline rushing, you don't feel anything. Mm-hmm. But when I woke up, I felt everything. From my throat to my lip to my arm, my fingers, like I feel it now.
Okay. So after you guys are done fighting, he says you're bleeding. Let me bandage you up.
Yeah.
So
he went and got the first aid kit, and he was like, "Babe, let me bandage you up." He put and I'm fighting. I'm like, "No, get off me! Don't touch me." At this point? No, I didn't see no blood, nothing. I did not see nothing at all.
Okay. So he bandages you up. You go upstairs and go to sleep.
Yeah.
But before he bandaged you up, you said you were still fighting.
Yeah, I was still. I'm like, just leave me alone, whatever. Don't touch me. Like, they stop.
Did either one of you still have the knife at that
No.
point? Okay.
How did the knife end up outside?
I don't even know.
There's a black steak knife with blood on it outside the house. How did that get there?
I don't know. Like I said, we was fighting out. We was, in and out. So I'm literally throwing his stuff outside. That's why you see the fireworks or, all that stuff or whatever. Because I'm throwing his stuff outside. So me and him is in and out the house.
Okay. So he bandages you up. You go upstairs, go to sleep. You wake up this morning and you find him down there. He's bleeding, cold to the touch. And then you go to your neighbor's house, Jamal. Call 911.
Because I'm panicking so much, like I couldn't even find a charger. from my own phone.
Did you say anything to the 911 dispatchers?
Yeah, I was like, my boyfriend is laying here, and they was like, oh, can you turn him on his back or something? They was asking me questions, and I'm just like, I was telling them whatever I told them, and I was just telling them like, can just get somebody here because I don't know. I hear him.
Just like an exhale?
Yeah,
okay.
But it wasn't just one. It was several.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, he can be, somebody needs to get here. Because I was just scared.
Sure, I understand.
He was cold, and the last time I touched somebody cold was my grandmother in a casket. So I just didn't know.
Okay. Do you know, after you call 911, you go back to the house?
Yes, I was at the house.
When you found him this morning, how was he laying?
Just regular, like he was by the shoes, and he was laying like this.
On his side?
Yeah, on his side or whatever. And he was just like he was sleeping.
Like hand tucked in his arm?
Yeah, like he was sleeping like this.
There was a point, though, between the bandaging, when he bandaged you up, you said there was another type of altercation. After he bandaged you up, then the car argument started. You were like, I'm about to get my keys, so can you remember what happened between that time?
I'm not sure if that was before or after he bandaged me up. But I'm going to say this. Once he began to bandage me up, that's when the argument started to die down.
Okay.
So it might have been right before he started bandaging me up.
Okay, so after he bandaged you up, you guys didn't have any more physical altercation?
No. I was just trying to tell him, just like, leave me alone. I don't need you to bandage me up. I just don't want to be bothered with you. And I went upstairs.
Alright, so at some point he received this wound.
Mm-hmm.
This pretty bad wound. Can you try to pinpoint at any specific time when he would have received that? Because I'm sure after he received it, he was probably normal, like adrenaline kicks in, all that kind of stuff. But there had to have been one specific point, because that's a big wound to receive. Like that's not, an accidental dig.
What you mean, like
on his side, that's where the blood was. That's a big wound to receive. Like that's not like
anything about or not to know about is what we're saying. So we both know everything's been out on the table. We both know there was a fight. We both know
he's
you
obviously
had
bigger than you, stronger than you.
We both know you had knives. We just need to pinpoint exactly when he got the wound on his side that ultimately,
I mean, it probably happened when we both had knives and we fell into the mirror. That's probably when it happened.
It's evident from Bonita's demeanor that she's trying to control the narrative and feigns forgetfulness to avoid suspicion. Meanwhile, detectives uncover a shocking piece of evidence that is about to change the trajectory of the case. The autopsy reveals that the stab wound Kieran sustained matches the knife Bonita had used during the altercation, casting doubt on her account. With this information, the story is about to take a dramatic turn, highlighting a disturbing series of events that ultimately led to Kieran's tragic death.
Did he say anything?
No, he didn't say nothing. He didn't say, oh, you stabbed me, or I'm cut, or he didn't say nothing like that. And I never saw no blood until this morning.
So what makes you think that happened when you guys fell into the mirror? Just off the top of your head.
Just because it was just a lot. It was a lot. I was tumbling over the pillows. He was falling on me.
And at that time, you both had knives in your hands?
Yes.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. Is there a chance that you stabbed him to get him off of you?
No.
To get him away from you? To kind of like de-escalate this and like protect yourself at some point? Or, I mean...
If... I'm going to say this. If I felt that way in that altercation, then that's what happened. But I don't remember that. And all I know is, like you just said, he's a man and I'm going to defend myself.
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. Because we're talking about two different things here, right?
Right.
So we're talking about this happening because of other circumstances that were going on, or we're talking about something that, I don't want to say it's unwarranted, but, you know, something like this happening, this is not common. You know what I mean? Like, we handle these all the time, but this is for us.
I know. I don't remember everything. If there was a time where I was trying to get him off of me, then that possibly happened. Because we've been here before. If you check our records, he's been in jail for putting his hands on me before.
Did it possibly happen, or did it happen? Because this is things that we need to know. Because these timelines and these series of events are going to help us pinpoint exactly what happened.
That's what I'm saying. I know for sure I didn't just bluntly stab him. Okay? I know I had the knife for protection. But I did not bluntly just do anything to get him, you know, to stop anything or to like, oh, you scaring me, I'm gonna stab you, this, that. Like, it had to have happened when we was tussling. Because I just wanted it in my hand to know that, you know, you're not about to
you're not around.
You're not about to over me, you're not about to put your hands on me.
So at some point you're tussling, do you ever feel that knife go in him? Or feel like any pressure on that knife? I mean, because you're going to remember that. Whether you're drunk or not, you're going to remember that something like that happening. That's not something that you don't remember. You know, like I remember being drunk, getting in bar fights, or getting into a fight and getting punched in the face. And, you know, you remember that no matter how drunk you are.
I'm trying to. I really am. I'm trying to recall how I'm right.
Think about it hard.
I am.
Listen, you're not. This is no judgment, okay? This doesn't make you a bad person for whatever happened, all right? I don't want you to think that this is something that him and
I'm just trying to get to the point where that happened, where like, because I know he jumped on me.
You're getting there.
I know
you're walking us through it.
Yeah,
right
I know
there.
he jumped on me, and
now where are you at when he jumps on you?
We left off. You were in the kitchen.
Well, we was in the kitchen, and I was going to the back to get a bag to put his stuff in. And I was by the stove. And like,
at this point, the knife was still in your hand because you were throwing stuff out still, right?
I just know that I wasn't about to be and bleeding somewhere or like.
Did it happen?
It had to, because I was, after that point, it was like, okay, now you want to fight me. So then within that window, it was just like, I was just fighting. And then that's when I remember him trying to bandage me up. Talking about I was bleeding.
When you walked in the kitchen to get the bags, where was he standing?
He was still by the door. He was by the door.
So he was by the door right where we found him this morning, right?
Yeah, right there. But he was alive or whatever, standing up. And he was...
But when you came around that corner, when you were walking past that stove, he was standing by the door. What happened in that moment? Something happened in that moment, because you're getting there. You want to say it, but I feel like you think...
I'm trying to use the exact... I'm trying to give you the exact action.
Yeah, and that's what we need. So explain it, because
I think this had you in that kitchen too. The blood splatter.
Well, that's where we're at right now.
Makes me believe that it didn't happen anywhere else but the kitchen.
So you got to take us to that moment, because this is your time, okay?
I'm trying to remember. I really am.
And we want to help you out the best we can.
I don't know if he like jumped on me or I don't know, but we was tussling in that kitchen.
I think you're right there. See, and he's standing by the door.
And I grabbed the bag and I went. That's where the crates and stuff is outside, because his stuff was in the crates right there where my pantry is.
Listen, you've been beat up before, right? He's beat your before, right? So
Men,
you were fed
several
up.
men.
So you were. Listen, so you were fed up.
Yes.
That's understandable. Okay. Some shit happened beforehand. He's standing by the door. You have a knife in your hand. You already know he's fired up. You've already been into it. You're probably bleeding at this point. You're done.
Yeah, I think you had enough. Because whatever happened right there. And I think you just had enough of it. I think things boiled over.
I had enough, like, because I'm not going to just
stab
him and be like, like, no.
In August 2022, Kieran was arrested for domestic assault, reinforcing Bonita's claim that he was abusive. However, Bonita also alleges that despite being involved in a fatal altercation while she was intoxicated, she went to sleep peacefully afterward. This contradiction raises serious doubts, leading detectives to question the credibility of her account. However, the more Bonita attempts to avoid the questions, the more she unknowingly ends up revealing details that will ultimately seal her fate.
We had to have tussle, and that happened. Because regardless of what me and him going through, I'm not like, oh, I hate you or nothing like that. Or, I was just going to try to drop him off to his mom's house and leave like that. Nobody expected this to happen.
Whatever happened in that kitchen. Wherever he's lying is probably where this happened at. Because whatever happened was pretty traumatic. So
I don't think it happened and then he bandaged you up and then you went upstairs and he laid down. I think whatever happened there, I don't think he left the kitchen.
No.
I don't think he ever left that spot by the door. It happened right there. Well, what we need is just you to kind of walk us through. You're right there. You're right there, and I know you're scared to say it.
But that's the thing, like, nothing happened after that. That's literally what I remember. I remember him coming to me. It was blood everywhere. I was already bleeding.
Yeah.
So it was blood on his shirt, too, from me. So that altercation, it had to happen in that kitchen. And then he
never left that kitchen.
Right.
At that point, yeah.
Because he never followed me upstairs.
Right. So
I said, you, he was like, whatever, this is that. I remember hearing his voice before I went upstairs.
When you went upstairs, did he lay down? Was he on the ground when you went upstairs?
No.
Where was he?
He was just downstairs.
Where at?
In the living room.
There's no blood. That's the problem. Like, there was no trail of blood from the kitchen to the living room back to the kitchen again. And he was bleeding a lot. So that,
Right, but that's the whole thing. It happened at 1 or 2 in the morning. It's what time did I call y'all?
8:30.
Right. So, I watch a lot of and a lot of shit. It wasn't a lot of blood.
We're not saying he was deceased right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's still talking to you, but we're trying to fill in the blanks because there's a blank. You've told the story, and the last time you told the story was perfect. That was spot on. We were right there. Then we get to that point where something happened that we skip over every time.
No, we're not skipping over nothing. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No, I know. I'm trying to get you to remember so it makes sense because there's a point to where he was stabbed and we're missing that. I think when it happened. It's just I think you're just worried about.
I'm not worried about nothing. I'm a very honest person. I do not recall me literally stabbing him. I don't recall me just.
We're not saying you did it intentionally. Like I said, I was trying to explain. You've been in situations before. You've gotten your beat. People just. Sometimes you just can't take it anymore.
From when we going from getting them bags and then about to go get his stuff, it had to happen right then and there. I don't recall. I don't remember. I probably, because I'm still a little bit drunk, so probably when I sober up, it'll, come back to me. But I just remember Kieran was very aggressive. And I just wasn't about to get my in.
It's understandable.
And we're not faulting you for that. That doesn't make you a bad person. Give me 1 second, okay? Do you need another water or a snack or something?
I I'll take another water.
You want water? Alright, yeah, give us 1 second. We'll be right back. You use the restroom? Hey, real quick, you said that your camera can be accessed from your phone. Is that right? You're just not really familiar how to do it?
Yes.
Alright, so what I'm going to have you do is I want you to read over this, okay? This is another consent form. It's for your phone, alright? And this one is going to be for the actual DVR system that's in your house, so I can get into that and watch that. Because that's going to help. I think that's going to help you quite a bit.
Bonita's facade of innocence crumbles as soon as she realizes that the detectives are finally closing in on her. Although she tries to appear devastated by fake crying, what detectives uncover next only exposes her manipulative tendencies. Bonita's attempt to appear cooperative further digs her into trouble when the password she provides them to access her phone turns out to be incorrect.
So I want to go back to when a friend of yours told you that he was cheating on you. What was the extent? Like, how did that come about?
It was okay. Jackie, this lady Jackie around the corner who lied to him for the last 2 years about the baby being his.
What baby?
Her name was Leela Fickley. She's in the last report with me and him for the domestic violence.
You guys don't have a child in common, right?
No.
Okay.
She was like, supposedly, she messing with this guy, and his ex-wife supposedly told her that her and Keyron was still don't care, because Jackie always lying.
Okay.
But I can be petty, and I set it up to him. I'm like, okay, you've been cheating this and that. So we got into a little argument, and we wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Okay.
So we wasn't talking.
When was that?
That was probably like 2 or 3 days ago.
Okay. So you approached him with it and said, did you ask him straight up?
No, it was a text message. It was like, I'm like, oh, you acting funny. You probably should, continue talking to the you've been cheating on me with.
I got you.
And then that was the reason why we was not talking.
Okay. So there was like a period before this, like 2 or 3 days where you guys, like, very little communication.
Yeah, we wasn't even talking. Like, the whole day, like, when I went to go drop the key off to him, he was at his buddy Frank's house. And I went to my sister's house. We just wasn't talking.
He was still sleeping there, right?
Huh?
He was still sleeping, like, living with you?
Yeah.
You guys just were not communicating?
Yeah, it was just that one day.
So yesterday, what was the boiling point? Like, did he get pissed off about it again, or what happened?
No, I'm telling you. He went to Frank's house.
Uh-huh.
I woke up to go get me a job and handle my business. When I came back, he was gone. He was at Frank's house, and I went to go drop the key off to him so he can get back in. And then I went to my sister's house.
Okay. And then when you got home, that's when things kind of blew up.
Mm-hmm.
Did he approach you first about it? Like, how did that argument start?
I believe when I got home, he had a situation because our agreement was we was going to be in the house by 12 o'clock.
Okay.
So when I got home, it was probably a little bit after 12.
Okay.
And he didn't like that, or he, had an issue with that.
What did he say to you?
I don't remember.
No. Okay. But so the whole initial fight started because you just got home a couple minutes late, and he got pissed off about that. Who got physical first?
He got physical first because he didn't like me throwing stuff outside.
What did he do? Walk us through exactly what he did when he got physical. What was that like? And
like,
what did he do?
He just he shoved me, so I fell, and then he was just like up in my face and stuff like that. So, I'm just fighting back at this point.
So you guys are fighting with each other. Then you grab a knife?
I go towards this thing or whatever, and that's the knife that don't have no handle on it. I didn't have no much. I didn't have. It was gone. That was that. Then he was like, "Oh, you wanna try to grab a knife? I'm gonna get one too." Yeah, he grabbed a knife.
Bonita makes every effort to convince the detectives that she acted in self-defense and paints Kieran as the aggressor. However, the detectives don't seem ready to fall for her tricks. Her inconsistent statement about who held the knife first eventually makes her claims contradictory. Additionally, her claims about Kieran's affair are also undermined by his friends, who asserted that Kieran was loyal to Bonita, and he often had to ask her to go out with them. These statements only highlight Bonita's attention-seeking nature. What the detectives have uncovered so far is just a glimpse. Further details that are about to come to light are poised to expose her web of lies.
Was this fight like every other fight you guys have ever had?
I mean, to this point of stuff being broken, we've never got there. But it's a hole in my wall from him, punching a hole in the wall. And like I said, I got videos in my phone of him, yelling outside. So we get heated.
Has there been weapons involved in any of your fights at all?
Yes.
Like knives. So there's been knives.
It's been knives before. Like, I'll grab the knife and I'm like, don't come at me or whatever. This is that. And with the DV charge or whatever, like, he was in my face and I was just going like this. And it poked him in his face 2 times. So he was like, I'm telling them they need to take you to jail. Look at my face. Because he grabbed me with the domestic violence case. He grabbed me and like put me up in the corner, but had me up and I couldn't breathe. So at that point, I was just scratching and I was just trying to get him off of me. And the police got called that time and they took him. So
is that what happened last night then? Like, all of this kind of boiled over?
Yeah. From previous arguments, it just got to that point last night.
Or was it enough is enough?
I mean, I guess for him, because I've seen him mad before, but not like that. So.
What do you mean? What was he doing different than he would have before, as far as his behavior?
Like, he would yell and stuff, but I've never seen like his eyes that big or the veins popping out of his neck, like angry. I've never seen that. And like I told him before, I'm like, you starting to do like this little devilish look, like you starting to look real evil.
So is that what led to this, like, receiving all this injury and all this kind of crazy that happened?
Yes.
So
that's basically defending myself.
So, okay. And that's the stuff I need to know, right? I need to know that kind of stuff. This is what we've been working for this whole time here, okay? I need to know how he got that injury. You need to be honest with me, okay?
No,
this is what we've been working for the whole time. You just told me yourself that you were defending yourself, but I need to know. This dancing around how this happened is not going to.
No, I'm not trying to dance around nothing. Like, I literally was drunk, so I don't remember everything. So I just know that it got to a point where I was defending myself.
And I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. But I need to know how that injury happened. Okay, I need to know how he got that injury.
We were fighting. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I had a knife in my hand. I probably went like this, or I went, this, or I went like that, but like did this too. Mm-hmm. But I was just defending myself. I was trying to back him up off of me.
When did that happen?
We had to be in the kitchen.
We were in the kitchen.
We had to be in the kitchen, in the midst of kitchen, outside. Like, we had to be in that area.
So is that what ended it?
No, because after we got into that, I remember going upstairs and he was still talking to me. Okay. It wasn't like that happened and, he dropped and I'm like, all right, I'm going upstairs. No. He was still talking to me.
So that makes sense to me because you're right-handed and his injury's on his left side. And if you guys are face-to-face, that makes sense of how he received that. So I appreciate you telling me that because that makes a lot more sense than I don't know how that happened. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense to me.
Despite Bonita's attempts to deceive the detective by providing the incorrect password, they ultimately managed to get access to it, revealing unsettling content. They found that Bonita had sent text and voice messages to Kieran, threatening and even cursing him. Her attempts to portray Kieran as an aggressor in their relationship completely backfires. Now, For the one last time, detectives are prepared to strike Bonita with irrefutable evidence, eventually incriminating her as the mastermind behind this heart-wrenching crime.
I received some information, alright? So, everything you told me before, alright, I believe you, for the most part. The only thing I'm having a hard time with is I just found out that he's got a wound right here, down in his side.
Right there?
It's in the top of his chest, alright? So that wound in the side is not there. I was wrong. Okay. It's in his chest. Okay. So let's figure out how that happened, alright?
Well, that goes to the point, when I was saying I was just doing anything with the knife, to get him back from me.
So it actually went into him at some point. It had to.
Okay, well, I don't recall it, But like I said, I can actually say this in court. I was doing this and this to get him away from me.
Okay. So at some point, you're face to face, and you're going like this. And at some point, you stab him in the chest, just flailing around, right? So basically what you're telling me is you're swinging the knife around. You didn't intend to stab him.
No.
But it happened.
I mean, because if that was the whole intention, if you're going to keep coming close to me and harming me, you're going to get stabbed because I have a knife and I'm clearly got it in my hand and I'm doing this. Why would you keep, walking up to somebody with a knife that's going like this? It doesn't make any sense.
So I would assume it's probably safe to say we probably would have never grabbed that knife in the first place. Right?
Yes, I wish I would have never grabbed it because
that led to this mess that we're in here. So the other thing,
I don't hate him that much.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
I actually thought I met my person.
The other thing that I want to talk about too is after he gets hit in the chest, right? He's not going to be up for very long. After that, all right. After hitting one in the chest, you're going to be very long. You're going to hit the ground pretty quick, and he has no blood on his underwear, meaning that once he was hit, he fell fairly quick. All right. So tell me what happened after that happened. I know you're telling me he bandaged you up, but
that's what I'm saying.
Something else.
Literally, if I would have seen my fiance hit the ground after me and him having an altercation, it's not much for me to get in the car and go 7 minutes around the corner. He did not hit no ground. He did not do that. He was still trying to get his stuff back in the house and everything.
He did not hit. In the kitchen or outside?
He was in the kitchen when I woke up, so it had to happen.
Where you stabbed him, was it in the kitchen or was it outside?
Sir, we was fighting from outside to the kitchen to the living room. I don't recall where it happened.
Okay.
But when I went to sleep, Kieron Ficklin was still up.
Where did he bandage you up at?
In the living room.
No, on your body.
Just my thumb.
Your thumb? So what did he do? He grabbed a Band-Aid and put it on you?
He got the first aid kit.
Where was the first aid kit?
The first aid kit was in the back, where my hair room is.
Right to the left of the back door? Or the front door?
Yes. So when you come in, the hair room is that way, laundry room or whatever. And then when you go in there, you make another right, and they were to the back, top of the crates. So he had to go in, turn, go this way, and then look down, to get the bandages and stuff.
So he got a Band-Aid, put one on your finger, and then you went upstairs? So it's safe to say this probably only took 3 or 4 minutes from the time you got the Band-Aid to put on your finger, and you going upstairs, maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes-ish. I'm assuming, right? Yes. Okay. All right, that makes sense.
It's frustrating because I'm telling the story, and I'm telling him what he did, but he's not. I don't want to talk about him like that. Yes, I was defending myself, but I love him. And we had so much potential. When we good, we great. It's so much laughter, so much fun.
When things got bad, they got bad, huh?
And it was I met him. He was going through that stuff with that girl. I had him happen on my spiritual journey. If they walking around my house, they gonna see my stones and my candles and stuff. I was not no yelling, argumentative type of person. He definitely brought that out of me, but it was to a point where I could just be okay, this is not what I really want for us. So then he went and bought his stones and stuff. He would meditate with me. It was just when he got mad, there's no turning back when somebody's mad to that point.
But I do have to have a female officer, and we do got to take your clothes, but we're going to get you something different, okay? So bear with us in this next couple minutes, and we'll try to make this as fast as possible.
Yeah, because I'm going to jail.
I didn't say that. Well, our evidence guys were processing. They found a wet and bloody mop. How did that get there?
The mop and all that stuff is right by the door. I hang everything right there.
The mop was in the kitchen, or in the living room. So how did that get there?
I didn't grab the mop.
Why
I
is it
didn't touch the
bloody?
mop. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. When I went upstairs, I don't know if he like tried to clean up for me bleeding everywhere or something like that. But I never grabbed the mop. I never tried to clean up.
Nothing?
The stuff, no.
Alright, because it was wet too. So that's
Right.
what we're trying to figure out, like,
Right.
if you were just
No.
panicking, trying to clean up. Or
No. When I woke up, I went downstairs and I seen him, and I looked out the door. His 2 suitcases was outside, so I went outside and I got those. I didn't bother him or anything, because even when he sleeps normally, I would lift his arm up and he would not get up. I literally have to shake him to wake him up. So, and then that was that. I didn't even see the mop. I never touched no mop.
So did you open the door, bring the suitcases in, and then call?
Yeah. Because like I said, I didn't disturb him. I'm like, okay, well, he probably still asleep.
You didn't see all that blood?
No, I didn't see him. I didn't see that until I actually just went there. But I knew I was bleeding last night, so I didn't think nothing of it until I actually went over there and I was like, "Bae," and then I'm like, "Bae," and then I felt that he was cold, and like I moved him like this, and he was still stiff. So then I was like, "Oh, like let me call somebody," because I don't know what.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. That's all I need. I just wanted to clear that little part up real quick.
Bonita was charged with 3 counts of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 2 counts of tampering with the evidence. However, as the trial was postponed, Bonita was released on bail. In 2023, Bonita had to attend an event, but before she could reach there, officers noticed the expired license plate on her vehicle. What made the matter even worse was that they discovered a firearm inside the vehicle.
There's a firearm in here.
What's that?
There's a gun in here.
Nuh-uh.
Yep.
Oh, that's it. Copy.
I don't know.
She was eventually charged with possession of a firearm while indicted. In May 2024, Bonita Wright was convicted of murder in the commission of a felonious assault, but it was not determined that she had committed a deliberate killing. In addition, she was also found guilty on 3 counts of felonious assault and 2 counts of tampering with evidence. Judge Christopher Rothgary sentenced Bonita to life imprisonment with the possibility of parole after 18 years, which included 15 years for the murder charges and an additional 3 years for tampering with evidence.